So welcome everybody. It is a Worlds Collide community race, I guess, for lack of a better thing. It's a Saturday night, so we're down to party
Saturday
and
community chaos.
dun dun dun. And we are here with I'm Vschwantz27. I'm here doing commentary with my boy Saberwolf. What up, Saberwolf?
Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I joined you guys in commentary, so glad to be back from the hiatus from the last tournament we just had, which was awesome.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome
Welcome
back.
back.
Anyway, so what we're going to be doing tonight is we are going to show off how a draft works, and we're going to run a race of those draft flags immediately after that. We have six, yes, count them, six racers involved in this race, although you only see four names up on the screen right now. And those will be our featured runners tonight. However, there are six total participants in the race room, and we're going to be doing a draft. And we'll show you exactly how the draft goes. Hopefully this will kind of be a tutorial if anyone in the community wants to start running their own drafts, because there is an event coming up. Saberwolf, you want to talk to us very briefly about the event that will be coming up in just a couple weeks here?
Oh yeah, but coming up very, very soon is the new World Collide event, the Blackjack Battle Royale. Yes, the Battle Royale's back, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. So don't miss the biggest party in the skies. We're going to be going on Setzer's airship. The event kicks off with glitz and glamour and a 1 week long free for all async race. They'll be coming up soon. Again, that qualifier race round that we always do. And this will be on the very base flag set. Now, so all the flags, all the drafting we're going to be doing is going to be based off this singular base event flag set. Very, very similar to Ultra Sleek. It's actually a little bit easier than Ultra Sleek because we can actually get Illuminas everywhere. Unless it gets, of course, drawn out.
Yeah, so
at least in the first round, they'll all be available, and they'll be very, very fast times, I'm going to assume, for this first round. And we are looking for multiples of 5 people per group. So it'll be up to 4 people at slowest times. Now, don't fret. If you don't qualify into the big shindig, we will have you go into what's called the Lagomorph Lounge. Yes, if you do play the game, that's the little bunny rabbit that pops up on the screen if you did the slots wrong.
Which one is it? Is
yes,
it
Magoo Magoo.
Yeah,
it's
there
Magoo
it is.
Magoo.
I did the Mog by mistake. My bad.
Sign-ups will be starting tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow, March 26th, Sunday. Sunday.
Sunday.
Exactly.
It's like the monster trucks.
Monster truck jam. Sunday.
So yeah, that's when registration will open starting tomorrow, and registration will last up until next Sunday. And that's when we will kick off the inaugural opening night gala. So more details for that is in our Discord. And before we get into a draft, a Silverthorn, the real MVP, thank you, with a Twitch Prime sub. All of the money that we get from our subscriptions will go towards our next charity event, which I happen to be doing commentary for. It is for the Randomania Randothon. One Free Fitz and Gar will be doing a race for NAMI, the National Association of Mental Illness. Woohoo! You pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. You're darn right, Hefe.
And again, all donations, Prime subs, all that stuff goes directly to the charity.
All right, so with all that rigmarole out of the way, let's pull up the Discord here. Bloop.
Whoop.
And there's a lot of X's right now, unfortunately, so far.
I had to clear it.
My volume is like a third of Saberwolf's. Uh-oh. So let me bump this up just a little bit more. Do I sound better now? I might have... I accidentally must have bumped up or bumped down my microphone when I was cleaning it. This is why you don't clean your PC, folks. You screw everything up. Anyway,
you gotta use the can of air, man.
So here's how the draft works. So what an administrator or somebody that wants to start the draft will do this /new draft command. And if you hit the space bar after it, there are 4 options that you could set up. So since we have 6 runners, I'm going to pick drafters at 6 because we have 6 people running this race.
Now, to point out real quick that when we do this event, this is pretty much going to simulate round 2 of this event. So the first round will be clean, just the base set, I believe.
Hold on here. There we go. Now you can actually see what the heck I'm typing. We've got some great production value here. So the number of picks that each runner will have is going to be 3. So this way, if you multiply the number of drafters... Oh, no, I'm sorry. we're going to do 18 picks. So if you divide the number of picks by the number of drafters, that's how many rounds you have. So in this case, we're going to be doing 3 rounds. And to answer your question, Overswarm, yes, there is always time to join this race. So hurry up quick, head over to the Discord and join it real fast. Unfortunately, I think we are going to start the draft without you because ain't nobody got time for that. And that's not the right link for the Discord, is it, D? There we go. There we go. Anyway, so then the next thing is the number of cards that will be presented for each round. So in this case, we're going to do 4 cards per round. I think during the tournament, we're going to be doing 3 of them only. So, and then the last thing is the order. So the order is you do it in your normal round order, or you could do it in a snake-like fashion. That means the person who picks first will pick last in round 2, and the person that picks last in round 2 will pick first in round 1. Or you could do it random, have a random order for each of the rounds. So I'm going to pick the default, just regular round, 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 round and round, like a rat song. So this is sort of what we're going to have here. And since OS is joined early enough, let's change this. We'll do 7 drafters with 20.
Let's just make it even more chaotic, because this chaos. This is Chaos Saturday.
7 drafters, 21 total picks, and 4 cards per round. So this is the new draft. So once I enter this command, boom, this sets up a draft for Setzer. So now every player that wants to join the draft has to use the join draft command to join it. So I'm going to indicate
so everybody
that
in the chat, please hit /join draft.
Yep. Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Okay, we're not gonna sing 50 Cent, all right? Demonetized. So
who are we waiting on? I think we're waiting on Jex for us. And there we go. So now there are 7 players in the draft. The draft is full. So I'm going to issue the start draft command since I'm the one that created the draft. And basically it says there will be 21 picks made. So issue the /draft pick command and we'll see who goes first. So if somebody wants to do that, we'll see who is our first drafter.
Want me to do it? I mean, I'm just kind of sitting here doing
I don't
nothing.
think you're in the. I don't think you're in the.
I'm not allowed. Okay.
Yeah, I am not a member of this draft. Womp womp.
It's JS.
All right.
All right.
So JS, what you have to do, there you go, is you use the draft pick command, and these are the 4 cards that you are given. So we have the blue mage. We start with Lore Strago, Soggy Meat. Go get dried meat by doing the Serpent Trench. Terra and Celeste will learn natural magic, and then countdown. All characters are afflicted with auto-condemned. Yikes.
Oh, God.
All right, so JS
I
gets
almost
to
want to
pick
pull
first.
a Jaxie.
So,
no.
of these
I almost wanna
4,
pull it.
you have to pick one of them.
Yes, you pick one of these 4.
Of course, it is the one guy we have,
Really?
one person in our chat who does not have a mic, so bear with us.
Yeah, so if you also do... I'm sorry, go ahead, JS. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I would pull Jaxie and do the countdown, but I think
Remember,
I'm gonna,
there is a
I'm gonna
columnist
fade
card in the Blackjack Battle Royale, which allows you to negate a card. So JS
Yep.
has to do his pick by clicking on one of the
Loggy
buttons
meets
here.
play.
Don't try
I'm
to
gonna do
influence
it.
the
Let's have
picker.
some fun, guys.
Oh,
let's have some
Okay,
fun.
so he has
going
picked
to get
countdown.
Oh,
We started like that,
So-
huh? Here we go.
So there will be so all characters will be afflicted with auto-condemn for the remainder of the race.
Yikes. That's an awful one, because you can't even get rid of that with a ribbon. So we're going to probably
You
be
can
on
get rid of that with a memento, I believe.
a memento ring and a safety bit will help. All right,
Yeah,
so
safety
now
bit.
it is Infinite Fluff's turn. We can
Infinite
start
Fluff.
with Shock Celeste. We get a comfy start with 30,000 GP, a couple of Warp Stones and Phoenix Downs.
You get the 3
Magitech
Moogle Charms
Factory
anyways.
all the way to the end gives you Samurai Nightmare, or Illuminas will not appear at all in the entire flag set.
Because right now we do have Illuminas
That's
available
what-
everywhere.
That's
and
what
he's
Infinite
gonna-
Fluff decides
that
to
one.
pick. So Buffalax, it is your turn next. And let's
Something
see.
about nice things and not having them.
Realm of X Magic, tough bosses. So enemies and bosses gain 2.5 levels for each character recruited. So normally that number is 2. So it's an extra half of a level for each character recruited. And enemies will scale to 50 instead of 40. Dragons are mixed into the boss pool is an interesting one. Or Dragon's Egg. You defeat 2 dragons and you get an experience egg. So this is an interesting...
Ooh.
It's an interesting...
That's an interesting one early on. Dragons are kind of difficult to fight. So, but getting in Dragon League very early on, we always call it the win egg. So, that is an interesting one.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go with mixed dragons just to mix it up even more.
Goodness.
Yeah.
The chaos continues!
I like that. I like that pick a
Oh
lot.
my.
You guys are doing me proud with these draft picks.
All right.
The only
welcome,
problem
Jax.
is if we get dragons that are required as part of unlocking Final Kefka, then it becomes interesting.
Nobody War is up next. They
Alright, so
have
it's-
the hybrid, which is you start with Terra with Morph.
Mhm.
You have Apocalyptic Upgrade, which is you get Magitech Upgrade if you do Floating Continent instead of the Magitech Facility.
Mhm.
Tough Scaling. Oh, okay, you already picked. Sorry.
And then discount spells.
You picked
Looks
the
like
hybrid,
Nobody
okay.
War, we got Terra. Alright, so for Jexy, it is Classic Curse Shield, 1 through 32 battles to decurse. Excuse me, Shadow with Throw. Easy scaling
jeez,
or
nobody.
open world. Oh boy, that's an interesting...
Open World. Wow.
Ninja.
Come on, Jaxie. I know what you want to do, buddy.
There's 3 of them that I want
I like
to choose
open world,
from.
though, honestly. That's
Yeah, I know.
Can I choose 2 of these?
No.
Nope.
wish.
You gotta choose
I
one.
know.
All right.
No.
But we all know what's going to happen. We're going mythic.
Going Mystic.
Oh boy, open world. Wow.
So now this means you can go
Yay.
anywhere you want. All the quests, all the checks are on the table. Doesn't matter who's in your party.
All right, so now that Honey is up, Honey will have to use /draft pick, and then the cards will come up. So let's see what cards we've got. We've got
No free lunch.
Ooh, that's
Go
it.
figure.
Well, I mean, with open world, that means we get to have access to all these cool high-tier items right off the bat. Cheap shops. Kefka's Tower requires 4 dragons. That would be rough with the mixed dragon and bosses.
Yeah, dragons
And
are
then
not.
Shadow with sword tech to start. So we'll see which
Wah,
one
wah,
Honey
wah.
decides here.
No free lunch. So
gotta-
the free checks are now going to be items. So espers or characters will not be there. OS is up.
All right, so here we go.
Vegan.
Yes, so
Vegan.
Edgar with tools, generous
Oh, God.
rewards. So the experience multiplier, which is normally 3, gets bumped up to 4, and gold and magic, which is normally 5, get bumped up to 6. Vegan experience
Ooh.
eggs will not appear in shops or our comfy start that we saw before.
These are all really nice ones, except for vegan. I was all excited to pick something, but we're just gonna go vegan.
Oh,
Wow.
so we picked the hardest one. So experience eggs will not be available in the game, along with Illuminas. No Illuminas, no experience eggs. GS numbers is back up again.
JS can do it right here.
All right, so unlocking Final Kefka is going to be a little harder. 8 characters, 12 espers. We get really buffed characters, swole characters. Lock with Capture or
Ooh.
Sword Text by Magitech Factory Fin.
And capture is just the upgraded
right,
version
since-
of steel. So pretty much locked.
Since we've thrown out some pretty rough ones, I'm gonna do us all a favor.
Transcendent characters that are still condemned.
Ooh, buff
I'm gonna laugh at something we use
characters.
calmness on it.
Swoley
So all characters will have 140 to 200%
Somebody's
of their
going
original
to.
stats
So
and
this
infinite
is-
plus up.
This
Ooh,
is
Rosa.
this is round 2. So first is 100% random chess. White magic spells can no longer be learned. Yikes! No cure, no life spells. The blue mage, Strago with lore, or obtain a dragoon by defeating 2 dragons, which by the way are mixed into the boss pool. So what are we gonna do here?
Do it.
But-
Do it.
Question:
Yep,
if they're
do it.
mixed, if
Do
you
it.
fight a dragon, is that just any boss now?
Okay, I
So
will tell
you
you
have
guys,
to
I do want to
find-
go to bed before midnight, okay?
Yeah, so
Just it's asking you guys again.
So random chest is the pick. So what happens here is since the dragons and bosses are mixed, if you go up to a dragon spot, it might be a boss. If you go up to a boss spot, it might be a dragon. In order to get the objective for defeating dragons, you have to defeat the actual dragons, not the spot where the dragons normally are.
Cool.
Yes, because they actually might be a boss instead. So all random chests are picked, so 100% random chests. Buffalax is up.
Can I
Well, the boss skip would be free.
Can I decrease the? No, that would have been too easy, and let's decrease the text size so it could fit on one screen. All
It's
right,
pretty
no,
much fitting on one
no
screen.
natural magic. We get a skip by defeating 12 unique bosses. We get Gal with Rage, or we get expensive shops.
I don't like any of these, to be honest.
What?
Pick the less bad one.
We
I don't know.
The
Skip
less
yet,
bad
I don't
one.
think. Yeah, I think the skip's the good one since we don't have one yet.
That is true.
Raven,
If a different kind of skip comes up later on, then it will override like boss skip sort of thing.
Well, oh no, I think I'm going to go Feral
there.
Youth on this one.
Oh, starting with
Is-
Gal with
I
Rage.
agree
Gal
with
could
that.
be a mixed bag. He could be awesome. He could be not. So
Opening up the
This
rage
is true.
chest.
Oh, here we go. Thank you. You're all welcome.
Oh, calmness.
Calmness
Pick
was
number
used
one.
by Nobody War. He is taking out
That was
countdown, so no
Yeah.
longer will our characters have a countdown clock to die.
Nobody
Okay, I
wore the
forgot about
hero we
Countdown.
don't
I hope I get that
deserve, but the
word.
hero that we need there with calmness. Choosing that instead of plus 20 magic power by defeating 4 dragons, another different type of skip, or only having 2 characters instead of 3 to start. So that I like
wanted to do
that
the
2
two.
characters
I really
instead of
wanted
3
to
could
do
have been
that
interesting too.
Start.
Yeah. Old
Jex
old
Rock is
standard,
doing
right?
the so Jex Rock has the red mage. Strago starts with health, which is not a bad skill. Cloudborne Mastery, learn 8 blitzes by finishing Cloud Floating Continent. Random commands, characters start with random commands with potential duplicates. So that will mean, even though we had Gal picked with Rage, that will
Mhm.
cancel out the Rage, and it'll now be a random skill
Correct.
for that character now. An NPC Zapper pressing Y while facing an NPC sprite will remove it. So this is the Y remove.
It's,
Well,
it's
with
not
animation.
exactly. It's Y vanish X zone, so it's not as fast as Y remove, but
Yes.
it's the same. You could sequence break into places with Y.
well,
energy.
fortunately,
And we do have
we
open
don't
world.
need sequence break anything.
Correct.
So, guess what?
Random commands.
Random. So that means
the agent
Gal
of
is now
chaos,
randomized. Honey is up.
The agent of chaos, Jexvarok, strikes again.
The monk, another calmness card. Tiered chests and feeble characters.
Ooh, feeble characters.
Now the characters are already overpowered, so we have.
if
this will
Honey
cancel that
decides
out.
to select feeble characters, we'll get feeble instead of the buff character.
And tiered chests, all the chests are 100% randomized, but instead they'll actually be tiered instead.
So we are.
And we'll
getting
start with
some-
Sabin with now he starts with Blitz. Now is that randomized instead of Blitz? Or could Blitz came
So,
after? So
clarification from the commits: random commands does not override cards given characters a specific commit. Gal will still have capture, but everybody else will be
Oh.
random. So in
Okay,
this
Gal will
case,
still have Rage.
Or Sabin will have blitz, and everybody else will have.
Okay,
That's
which
not
is what it would have
terrible.
anyways.
All
If
right.
she's using the calmness
Oh.
card.
Calmness
Honey's using
comes
calmness.
Calmness.
They're
He
using it.
doesn't like Gal.
Oh no! You killing Gal?
No,
Do it.
Gal. Oh, I love Gal.
Oh, come
outta here.
on.
Gal is
Gal is going to sleepy sleep.
That's the feral youth.
Gal
That's
is,
when
Gal
you're looking
is
for.
my favorite. My favorite character. And
Hey,
they're-
Transcendent
I think
characters. So
Rage
that
would've
means
been
the
great to start
overpowered buff
with.
characters are now gone.
Oh,
so now we're just gonna have normal characters.
Oh,
OS is
boo.
up.
Nobody likes my picks. What the heck?
We have all natural Desmian
we'll
flavor,
pick better.
realm, and struggle.
Yeah,
No
so how many
toys, which
times-
means
Oh
people run
no!
super balls or elemental shields are removed. So no Luminas, no experience eggs, no breakable rods, super balls, or breakable shields.
Ouch.
Hope you get
So
good
how often
rages.
can calmness show up?
I probably as often as it's one out
How
of
many
what
cards?
85
Oh
cards.
my. So JS
this
has to
could be-
do Terror with Magitech, or black magic spells can no longer be learned from Espers.
Yeah.
The
good.
Soggy
And
Meter,
Jack.
the Chick,
Yep.
Thanks
So
for
picking the
buffing her.
Terra.
Terror with Magitech.
One of the reasons why I actually chose that is I don't
So we have at least
think we have a
Terra
command
and Gal.
that-
Now we do start with 3 characters unless it's otherwise changed.
I'm sorry, JS, say
Um,
that again.
I'm pretty sure we don't have a star or have a way to upgrade that right yet, or
We
is that
do,
automatic? No one
we
picks
do
anything?
we do not have a way to upgrade that yet. It doesn't look like. So if you do exclamation show picks, it'll show off all the picks. So we have no Illuminas, Mixed Dragons, Terra with Morph, which is now overridden by Terra with Magitech. Open World, no Free Lunch, no Experience Eggs, Random Chess, Gal Rage, Random Commands, no Toys, and yeah, Terra with Magitech. So
Yep.
that's what we've got.
So basically no extra items, and we're starting with Terra, Gao, and who?
Terra
random.
Gao.
No, it wasn't Saban.
and Terra
And a
Gao and a random character.
And the third one's random.
Yep.
And an open world.
Also, remember, we don't. So, to JS's point, since there is no current Magitech upgrade objective, you'll only be stuck with those 4 for the time being. Alright, so Infinite Fluff gets Gao with Rage again, a Calmness, Glass Cannons, which is. I like that setting. That setting's pretty fun. Or Tiered Chests. So, Glass Cannons reminds me of when we did our Tournament of the Month with Glass Cannons. So, pick number 10.
Boo.
Gao
Kicked
is gone.
out Gao.
F's for Gao in the chat.
So no more Gao. So the randomized characters will be 2 randomized characters with Terra. It does have Magitech.
Clarification from the chat. Calmness has around a 5% chance to show up.
So Calmness just showed up again, along with Thief Hunt, Machinist, and Vanilla Bosses. Bosses will be in the original locations, mixed with dragons, I believe, but
Yeah, how is that going to work? I guess
I'm not sure how that works.
I guess that's not going to work.
The
So
vanilla
We do
bosses.
have an objective of granting 20 plus 20 speed by defeating the 4 dragons.
yeah, so that
So-
would override the mixing
If
dragons card.
that card will pull those bosses out of the pool and put them in those spots, and they'll stay there.
Correct. Because I have
Oh.
messed with that before.
Okay.
But we're starting with
Interesting.
Edgar with tools instead. Vanilla Edgar with Terra with Magitech.
Okay, so that was Buffalax's pick. Nobody War is up with Celeste Runic, Terra, and Celeste. 24 lords by going to Fanatic's Tower, or
Gee,
tough Kefka requirements, and that's what we're doing. 8 characters, 12 Espers.
boy, no,
Dexter
but can we
is
just
up
read it
next.
first before you start picking them?
I've seen these cards a bazillion times.
Okay, okay. Okay, look, the rest of the people out here have not, okay? We're demonstrating the thing. You gotta
That's why
play
I'm
along.
keeping
bro.
it. That's why I'm keeping it interesting for you.
All right, so we have Shadow Withrow, another
Hello.
Calmness card. Phase Shift, enemy and boss abilities are
The ninja.
random elements.
You got
Oh,
your
dear
calmness
God.
card you were looking for, Jax.
Oh, no, I'm not using no calmness card.
Right.
Come on.
Alright. By
Attaboy!
the way, people don't know
Oh,
Jax
what is
Rock
that?
is our bad scientist in the community.
Yeah, so we don't want to pick Far
No,
Horizon because
he's
we just
I
had
have
that.
a second-
misunderstood.
I got a second mythic pick.
Phase shift.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Enemy and boss
enemy
abilities
boss
are
abilities.
randomized.
and randomized elements. That is
Yeah, I think that
absolutely
tops this seed
awful.
off.
That
Yeah.
is- it's-
Oh,
it's-
you don't like it?
It's
I
bad.
thought you were
I
gonna
have
pick
to
it.
do it.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Coming to,
Dude, a boss is absorbing the element.
and the groans come out from
Finally.
the crowd.
All right,
Coming
this is
to,
gonna
Is
be
there,
fun.
coming to a
Is there a
calmness
card that
near
would start
you.
with plan?
So that means that certain abilities that the bosses would be weak to or can now possibly absorb them or be weak to something else.
No, that's not what that
Or
means.
right or no, something
That
different.
means that
It's
Flame
their-
Eater
it's
can
their
use ice
yeah.
spells or wind spells.
Oh,
instead
so the
of fire
abilities are, not the
spells.
weaknesses. Okay.
Correct. So normally
I
we're
read that
like,
backwards.
oh, this boss isn't a problem. I have flame shields. Wrong.
This could get real interesting, guys.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Stronger enemies plus
Stronger
10 levels.
enemies.
Befriend skip 3 extra characters, or lock with capture, or a calmness.
So 3 extra characters based on the current stats we have now. That means you have to find almost all of them.
Correct,
Yeah,
because right now
11.
Kefka
Puts it at
unlock is
11.
what, 8,
It's
12?
11.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like
but
friendship.
remember, it's open world, so
My
is
Little
true.
Ponies it is. Friendship wins.
yay.
There it is.
OS is begin.
You do show picks, or is it one word?
It's
all
one
all
word,
one
yeah.
word. Yeah.
All right, because
Let's see
this
what
is
he
important.
says. It's
All right,
Alright.
so we're finally at the end, the last pick.
No free lunch is currently active, I believe. So we start with Sabin, which would means we start with Sabin,
Ooh.
Terra, and Edgar. We're still in open world, so that doesn't really matter what checks we have.
So, Mirror Match is an
Vanilla
interesting one.
Commands.
It evokes, the Go-Go Coliseum tournament flag set, where your enemy and boss levels were equal to your party's highest character. So you literally can't outscale your enemies until you get to level 50. So that one's always an interesting one. And then Vanilla Commands.
Which technically would mean that it would eliminate Terra's Magitech ability right now.
Why would?
No. The
No,
and everybody else's
other,
ability.
the
the
other
cards-
characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Not-
cards with trumpet.
correct.
Oh, the card with Trumpy, right?
Yes.
So
Man, it's
if I
yeah.
see,
Hey,
I'm
listen,
thinking mirror
uh,
match because I've never done that.
All right.
Oh.
Well, you are the last pick, so if
Yeah. The main thing I'm wondering about is like for Kefka's Tower, if I send in like a level 3 character, is the boss gonna be level 3?
no.
No, it'd be it'd be
It's
the highest level of the
it's
character.
highest level.
Yeah, it
So
scales
if you
to
have
1 times your
so if you
highest.
have one character with 30 and one character with 3, the boss is level 30.
But if you have one character with 3, it's going to
Yeah.
be 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is it the party? Is it the party, or is it like of all characters you
No,
have?
the party that is
It's-
currently fighting whatever boss you have.
So if you get if your whole
only
party
a
gets
solo-
except for your level
solo
3s,
character.
then it gets it'd be level 3, I guess.
Yeah. It's not an
Yes.
average party. It's a single character level.
So at the end of this, after the draft, that is our siege string, as you see here.
All right.
So swans will now eat it up and respit it back out into
All right,
an actual.
we'll go,
That's our
these
flag
are-
set. Then
these
we'll
are,
see
these are the picks here. So what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of these and post a link in the chat. But basically, we have no Illuminas, no experience eggs, no free progression, no character gating. So it's a whole lot of no. That
No,
I'm
no, no,
sensing
no,
here.
no.
Dragons are mixed into the pool. We have Terra with Magitech, which overrid pick number 4, I think, later on. So we've
Yes,
got,
so that was
uh,
Morph is now
We've got
Magitech.
high requirements for Kefka, 8 and 12, with a skip at 11 and 12. And this is going to be interesting. Enemy and bosses' abilities are going to be random elements. And you know what is a random element? Non-elemental. So have fun with that. We're also going to get Edgar with tools and Terra with Magitech to start, I think, and a random one.
Yep, and a random
and
one.
also no rods, no super balls, no shields. So there's a lot
Let's
of
go,
lot
guys.
of restrictions on this
Yeah.
on this flag set, huh?
Yeah, all the cool stuff is gone.
True, no free lunch.
All right.
Now, I will ask though, if for the Magitech Elite, while everybody's still here,
Ruh-roh.
does that mean you have
Uh-oh.
all the
Where's
Magitech
the commish?
skills?
Did we break it?
We did.
All right, let me see if I could figure out what's wrong with this flag set.
Uh,
But continue.
Okay, so something broke.
Try exclamation point roll seed.
Yep, let me see if I can do that.
My question is for Magitech though, is that since does that mean you have all the Magitech abilities?
No.
And you do not have to get the extra, or is it still
No.
you have to do
You get-
you have to do
Yeah, if
Magitech
it gets
facilities
slotted
to
with
ready to go?
Magitech, you still have to get the unlock now.
Okay, so
That's-
that's
Oh,
Magitech
you know
facility
why?
3. Okay.
So I just put the flag set in. It looks like we got Terra in here twice, right? Character 1 is Terra and character 2 is Terra.
Oh, yeah.
We can't we can't do
Good
that.
catch.
So
Okay,
So that's what we'll do. We'll change this to be. We'll change that to be random. So that's one. That's
Keep
another
the second
one,
one,
for the,
right?
That's another one for the bug list. So character 1 will be random. Character 2 will be Terra.
I
Let's
mean,
see
I'm
if
down
we
to
can
play
get
with two
that
terrors.
one.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Oh,
There we
let's get
go.
free enterprise up in here.
Yes.
All right, boys and girls, that is your seed. So please load up the seed and
Yay.
issue exclamation ready when we're ready to race. And otherwise, get the hell out of my chat.
But let us know if Gastera does not have Magitech, I guess.
You'll see soon enough, I guess.
Did I
right?
screw that up? I don't know.
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
Let me see.
All right,
Where is?
Well, listen, we'll figure that out and we'll debug it as we go along. But thank you for joining the voice chat for doing the draft. Appreciate it, everybody. But now you could feel free to disconnect as we continue about our regularly scheduled broadcast. Okay. So with that out of the way, we're gonna have an exciting race here. That took a while. Having a lot of drafters does that.
Well, you're the one that did how many rounds?
Listen, we only did 3
I
rounds.
won.
We did.
I know,
3.
but
Yeah. Well, it also is.
well,
It's interesting to get people to get the practice of what a draft looks like, what it feels like. It's more important to see what it feels like, you know.
And how about the why we're doing this? Well, because the Worlds Collide is coming out with a new event. It is the Blackjack Battle Royale. It is going to be the biggest party in the skies you'll ever see on Setzer's Skyship. The event kicks off with some glitz and glamour and a 1-week-long free-for-all async race coming very soon, next couple weeks. Sign-ups start tomorrow. That's Sunday, March 26th. And it'll be throughout the week, so please get on our Discord and sign up. There will be there'll be the open round. It'll be the opening gala, as we're going to call it, round. It'll just be the basic flag set, no spoofs or fancy span stuff. Pretty much the base flag set is Ultra Sleek, just with all the stuff that we just took out of the game. Like, the Illuminus would be in there, the Spirit Eggs will be in there, the shields, all that stuff will actually be in there. That'll be the opening round. It's an async, so just do it when you can throughout the week. And then after that, groups of 5 will be cut out with how many people signed up. So if we have 40 people sign up, there'll be 8 different groups. Now, if 42 people sign up, don't fret with the extra 2 people. You'll be actually put into the Lagomorph lounge, and you'll be doing your own little bitty tournament there. So, and they'll you'll actually be put into basically the losers bracket, where you try to buy your way back into the tournament again. That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, I like that there is a option for us to get back into the race if we don't have it. So let's throw this up on the screen here, and I'll share my screen here with you, Saberwolf, so we could talk about these picks.
That'd be very appreciative.
So there's the picks. So I removed the ones that were removed by Calmness. So Infinite Fluff picked the where are we? I'm trying to. There we go.
All right, Infinite Flip picked the Eclipse, which is the No Illuminas. Buffalax picked the Mixed Dragons. So dragons are still mixed in the pool with the rest of the bosses. Nobody War selected the Hybrid. One of the starting characters is Terramorph, but that is overridden because we had to change that. So technically that's out. So
okay,
no pick number 4.
Yeah.
Jex Farok selected Unbound. So this open world. So all the checks and all the stuff is going to be open to everybody, regardless of what characters we have in our party. Honey selected the No Free Lunch. So although we have open world, all the free checks are not going to have any characters or espers. They'll just be items.
Yeah, with open world, I like that pick a lot because then we know exactly where to get some of the good stuff.
Again, going with a theme with not having any toys to play with, OS picked no experience eggs. Infinite Fluff has random chests, so all the chests and the continents will be completely randomized, 100%. So basically, the chest could be anything except for Illumina's experience eggs, shields, super balls, or breakable rods. It cannot be any of those because later on down there, OS actually picked that. Buffalax selected a Feral Youth, which was Gao, but it was removed.
Oh, was it? Okay. Where is
so
here?
pick 10 is out.
Yep. Removes by.
So we're moving ahead to pick 11, which nobody wore picked
That was one of the calmness ones.
countdown,
yeah.
so we can actually get rid of that too now. Pick 11's out.
Here we go. We're just.
Alright, so now we're cruising along. Jexfarok did pick random commands, so everybody else will have random. Except for Terra and
Terra will have
Terra.
Badge Attack, and don't we have somebody else? We have Edgar, right?
Yeah, we have Edgar. I don't know where Edgar went.
Did I accidentally
Edgar's
delete
gone.
Edgar? Did I delete Edgar?
You must have deleted Edgar. Uh,
I don't think I did. Oh no,
I don't think
it's
you did.
pick
I don't think you
17.
did.
17.
Oh, 17. Yeah, you deleted that one.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
Yep. And 11. No, 11 you got. Okay. So where did we leave off? Oh, OS, no toys. I mentioned that. JS picked Terra. That's Terra Magic. We already mentioned. Bufflax of the Machinist. We just mentioned that. Nobody wore picked Far Horizon. So unlocking Kefka requires 8 characters, 12 Espers. That's an increase of 2 characters and 3 Espers than normal. Jexrock picked Flame Shift. Enemy and boss abilities are completely random, so we don't know what the bosses are going to be throwing at our intrepid adventurers here. And Honey, last but not least, picked Friends Skip. So if you find 3 extra friends, which basically is almost all the characters in the game, you'll unlock the skip for Kefka. Oh, sorry, one more. OS also picked Mirror Match. Enemy and boss levels will be equal to the party's highest member of the group. And since we don't have Experience Egg, that means there won't be one outstanding person in the group to be up at leveling against. So that's actually a good thing in the end. So, however, if one person keeps surviving the fight every single time, their levels are way higher than the rest of the parties. The rest of the parties are going to be suffering because of it.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of these things. This is going to be an interesting seed, especially with open world. We're going to see probably everybody get, some of the cool stuff to start, like all of the free items with no free progression. And I'm assuming everybody's going to loot the sealed gate cave with Imperial base. So we'll see how much of our looting gets done. There are 100% randomized chests, so we're going to have some really interesting things in our chests here. In addition to all of the free stuff we're going to get, we are not going to get experience eggs and Illuminas though. So I like that to balance to remove. Probably I would consider with Paladin Shield, being the third or second, the 2 best items in the game, right?
Probably. I mean, yeah, the Paladin Shield, the Luminos, and the Elemental Shields, I would say, are the 3 strongest items in the game, except for, of course, maybe Experience Egg. We do call it the Win Egg.
Yep.
So, and Super Balls and Breakable Rods, those are usually early game items
Right.
to try to propel your team to get into those first boss fights and like that. But since the dragons are going to be mixed into the boss pool, that's going to make things really interesting here.
Yeah, I also expect to see some of our.
But there are technically quote unquote scaled dragons, quote unquote.
Well, they are. So, they're going to be the same level as you are, though.
Yeah, so they're scaled, quote unquote. Yep. They won't be their level. What is it, 50 self like they usually are? I think they're level 50, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And again, also, there is one for those of you wondering about Edgar. We do have Edgar starting with tools. He does start with 1 random tool that is on the base flag set. So we do have so Edgar will be starting with at least 1 tool. There's a runners up on screen there. We do have the list of interesting flag sets there. They're probably reading through them, just trying to remind themselves what they are. And Jexfarok, of course, changed his output of his stream. You gotta love that.
I'm gonna punch him in just a second. So.
Yeah, we'll punch him a little bit in the chat right now. So are those on screen appearing will be Nobody War, JS Numbers, Honeydew, and Jexfarox. We do have multiple people running in the background, of course. We do have Buffalax, Ifna Fluff, OS. So there will be other runners running in the background along with us here. It looks like we started the race here. So, Honeydew hopefully will be catching up in just a second. So Nobody War, again, our third character is going to be Gal anyways. We tried to get rid of him.
You can't get rid of the
He has
gal.
double GP Rain. Gal's two abilities are GP Rain and GP Rain. Okay.
Are you serious? They're both GP Ran? That's why I love
So-
Gao. Gao is the best.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Nobody War is heading to my favorite location actually, which is I believe is Outbrook. World of Balance though, I actually prefer going to World of Ruin because you do get that one extra item on the docks that's actually blocked usually by the Magic Deck armor. Honeydew is going to go to Setzer's spot. One of Setzer's checks and picks up a set of Marvel shoes. Lance there for GS numbers at the well where one of Shadow's checks there. This is open world, so all our runners are going to be able to go anywhere they want, any check they want, no matter what it is. Honeydew did pick up a drill in the item shop. We do see some Mega Sats as well in the shop there. So kicking things off really well. Nobody War finding earrings in the relic shop there. And did pick up a pearl rod. I thought rods were not available, but he does pick up a rod anyways.
Was the rod in the shop or in the chest?
It was actually in an elixir clock, so he did pick it up
Okay.
in the chest. So
Yeah,
that's fine.
so rods are not in, or supposed to be not in shops. And remember, this is in beta, so as we saw with the 2 Terras, we may find some hiccups or some bugs with the bot, and if you do so while playing your own seeds, please let us know and we can figure it out. Nobody War in Miranda going for the 2 chests that are in there. Lance is the reward from Gao's father's house. Which will be nice with Edgar, because Edgar, right, can naturally equip all of those Dragoon items that we have, so that'll be really great.
X Rocks finding some dried meat that's going to be needed for one of Gao's checks. It is open world. We do have Gao, so it doesn't really matter. But dried meat is needed at least for one of those checks. So
Yeah,
looks like Honeydew is doing that check right now with Tara shooting up some fire beams.
Yeah, I like
Not finding a character though.
I like doing this Velt check right away because it is, it's always going to be progression. I mean, especially with the no free progression flag on. But if it wasn't, it's usually progression. And that's Palador, so that'll beef us up. And remember, in this flag set, it doesn't matter how many items or pieces of Magicite we get, right? Because the scaling is based on our party's levels, not on how many pieces of progression we have. So I really like that play from Honeydew to start out there.
Also, a good thing to know is that we do have Edgar in our party to start with, so we do get some discount double checks there for South Figaro and the Figaro Castle. So after we're doing some looting, it might be a good idea to go to one of those locations to get items for cheaper than what you normally would get in other places in the game. So
Yeah, who doesn't
so that's
like
something to
cheap
keep in
stuff?
mind. Yes, cheaper is better, especially these times.
All right, so the first 5 or so minutes of a Worlds Collide seed is usually looting and shopping here, so that's what we're seeing a bunch of. As we see our
How do you
runners
do
in radically different
15,000 gold in a chest? That's nice.
places. Yeah, that goes a long way to get some of your stuff out there. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of the higher end goodies in shops, like you mentioned. No Illuminas, no Experience Eggs, no Elemental Shields, no Super Balls, no Rods, but we still need the basics like curative items. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with Auto Condemned. That card was removed by Calmness. And
yeah, that was the first card that was drawn, I believe. It was played, actually, was the countdown clock.
Marvel Shoes is the Cullen
Yep.
offering down in the Celeste Prisoner cell. So
Ooh, that's good.
One not so great relic that sells for a decent price, and then one offering which pairs well with those snipers that Nobody War just found in that shop there in the Collingen World of Ruin. Is he in? Yes.
Yes, and JS Numbers is in the basement. They find an ice shield. So they did find one of the elemental shields in the chest.
Yeah, Behemoth Suit also in there too. So you're really
Not
seeing
bad.
the 100% random chests coming out here, right? Because chests having 100% random usually means that chests are better than average, right? Because the more
definitely.
the more good stuff that can go in there, the better it normally will be here. So
we're now in the world of balance, I think, in South Figaro. No, World of Ruin.
do you happen to know which a drill? Okay, so we're set for tools then.
Well, we bought the drill. I don't know what the actual starting item is that
Okay.
was actually started with. Maybe it was drill.
It looks like
I did see drill.
based on
I did see
Honeydew's
drill in
screen.
the shop, so it could have been Flash. Oh, they found Flash. Okay, so finding Flash and drill, that'll be good to have on Edgar. Edgar, Flash is interesting. It scales actually off of magic power, so earrings actually affects it. Versus drill, which is physical, which is more scales off the vigor. So Edgar's one of those weird characters where tools is really awesome in the early game, but then drastically falls off in the late game.
Yeah, unless you have a strength plus Esper on Edgar the entire game, right? Drill is great because it ignores physical defense, which will help you get past certain bosses like Tritok, Magimaster, bosses where you have to come up with fancy solutions. Modern problems require modern solutions, after all. And it looks like Nobody War puts Edgar at the front of his party to get that discount in the World of Ruin, South Figaro. You can't get it in the World of Balance, South Figaro. I don't think anybody's been to Figaro Castle yet, or the Cave to the Sealed Gate yet. So interesting choices here. I would have thought we would have seen more runners head there immediately first.
Yeah, but they might be waiting for the getting the treasure room to do, along with maybe a terror check. But that's a free check, so technically that would not result in an Esper or a character.
Correct.
So, but Nobody War's going to World of Balance. Maybe he's listening to us and he's going to head there right now. Nope, he's doing a U-turn, doing the other half of South Figaro instead.
Yeah, that was a pretty spicy U-turn there. Meanwhile, we got our other two runners on the bottom half of the screen now taking a look at the South Figaro basement there. So there are a lot of chests in the basement. Unfortunately, you could only loot this area once, whereas on the outside of South Figaro, you could loot it twice.
Yep. Hero Ring, that's a good item.
So Ice Shield Behemoth Suit was found in the basement. There was an offering at the South Figaro prisoner spot. We found some Marvel shoes at Kolingin and an Aura Lance at Gao Manor. And JS is the people's champ here.
Spicy!
Going on the Leet River early. I actually don't hate this play, although those are some
those monsters
enemies.
Though.
Yep, and that's an insta reset.
Yeah. So he was looking for some early levels there, along with doing a check at the end to get rewarded for doing the levels. To kind of two birds with one stone there. But those are not the monsters you want to be fighting there. They're kind of in-game monsters. By the way, Jex Rock is going to the treasure room now that we were mentioning before. Flame Shield.
Very nice.
Cat Hood is big.
Yeah, now we
Wing
can collect
Edge,
a lot of money.
Economizer, that's a lot of moolah. Thornlet's kind of weird.
It's a lot of money, though.
Yeah, but mostly money there.
Mostly.
I don't know if that was a Flame Shield or a Flame Saber. I wasn't sure which one it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so Leet River, as Hefe points out, is an interesting call because the enemies will be the same level as you the entire time, right? So you can't really get past the levels scaling. Unlike in a normal Worlds
there's a Flame Shield.
Yeah, so unlike in a normal Worlds Collide seed where the mantra is get some levels underneath you and go fight a boss, that's not really going to help you here. Obviously, you do want to get off of level 3 because level 3 stinks, but taking a long check like the Leet River where you might level up might make those first bosses very, very lengthy.
Checking the throne room here for Honey, finds a red cap there. Well, level magic's on the screen for JS numbers in the camp. That's going to be a nope out of that. I did see, same thing with Jex Varrock here, finding the magics and Terra Run. Oh, he's just going to reset out instead. We do find Edgar's brother Sabin fighting in the camp though. So we do find progression with a character.
Yeah, so that's always nice to find a fourth character early. This way you have just more turns of your party, really. So we'll see what Sabin has. Maybe it's another GP Rain Sabin. really leaning into the Blackjack Battle Royale part of this here. And Jex Varrock is going to get his piece of Magicite from the Velt check, assuming that he picked up some dried meat. And we'll see if he hops into the Serpent Trench.
Now, we do have Terra with Magitech starting, but don't fret because this is open world. We can go to Magitech facility anytime you want to learn the rest of the skills. Is it going to be worth
No,
the
you
extra?
You can't do
oh.
that. There is no objective to unlock the rest of the skills.
Oh no! So you're just stuck with the first 4 then.
Correct.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, so the objective to unlock the other skills is one of the
Has
cards
to be
that
added
you
in
could
with a
select.
card.
Correct.
Oh.
Yep.
Which we did see a couple times, but nobody picked it.
Nobody picked it. Correct.
Huh.
I wonder if they're regretting that now.
Yeah, probably. But we do find so far Palador and Sabin. Those are the only 2 things we found so far.
I did not see what Sabin had. JS went through it so fast I didn't see.
Yeah, JS is also having a little bit of lagging issues, unfortunately, in his feed as well, so...
Yep.
Well, honey, he's doing that one now.
Yep, so
We'll get to see in a minute.
a little high five at the end of the desert there. Meanwhile, Jex is going to take the dive with the 1 helmet for 3 characters. I never really understood how this worked, but that's okay.
Well, it was just multiple helmets. This is multiple helmets stacked together.
Yeah. So we're in Thamasa here. This is a pretty decent place with 6 treasure chests and a bevy of shops. I wonder if we'll see a burning house play here. That would be interesting.
JS is trying to look for levels and trying to get 2 birds with 1 stone, so that is likely idea from them to do. And the way that they're looting reverse, this is kind of the reverse way to loot the town. I'm going to say yes on that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a nice find in that chest there. A little Minerva action, of which Terra can definitely equip. And
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was going to head into the inn.
Oh. But I will note that Gao is started with his items that he has about 50 magic power to start with level 3.
Oh, wow.
So big Terra, big Gao with magic powers already.
Yeah, I mean, levels are more important than stats, but, you know, when you get stats that are that high, it's usually, you know, a good thing.
Oof. Yeah, these level magics in the early part of the camp is really starting to push our runners a little bit.
I mean, the good thing
Scare
is,
them off.
The good thing is, though, right? You can just run away from these fights, and again, since scaling is based on your highest level in your party and not progression, it doesn't really matter if you run away from all of these fights. Now, you're going to want to take a few of them in order to get off a level 3, but honestly, it doesn't matter all that much.
No, because the bosses are still going to be at the same level you're at no matter what you are. So even if your
God.
progression is character and espers push you one direction, it's still not going to matter. You're still gonna have the same level as your boss you're gonna fight with.
Well, it's not Wind God Gao, but Wind God Edgar for Honeydew, with the offering and the Tempest.
That's a very popular good one when you play the vanilla part of the game. It allows you to be able to cast Wind Slash randomly up to 4 times, and it doesn't get the negative part of offering, which lowers the damage you do per hit. But doesn't increase the number of times you can get the Wind Slash off. It works great in the early game, not so good in the late game, and also does scale off of your magic power, I believe, so earrings do affect it as well. So you could do an offering earring combo, or actually offering hero ring, probably the best one, because actually you get the regular damage and the magic power boost from that.
Yeah, the interesting thing with the offering is that it does not allow you to get procs that are based off of magic points. Like, if you choose an Illumina with an offering, you'll never get the 2 times hit or the Pearl proc. But for things like a Tempest Wind Slash or the Scimitar Instant Death Cleave proc, that does work multiple times with offering, so it's pretty cool. So what is the HP MP scaling? So let's see. Let me get my paste bin file up here. We'll put it up on the screen.
It is not CED. We say that much. It is not based on CED, which is characters, espers, and dragons. It is based on the highest character's level in the party.
Yeah, so it is based on... Where are we?
I believe was... yeah. Oh, by the way, dragons are mixed in with boss fights.
Enemy and boss levels, MP and HP and EXP rewarded are scaled equal to 1 times highest party. So that's what we're working with there.
Yes.
Sabin was picked
So
up
since,
by
like, for instance...
And I missed what Jex got out of the Serpent Trench.
Yeah, I did too. Oh my god. Hi.
Phoenix. So the Phoenix Esper, so he is the first one to 2 Espers. That first Palador Esper is pretty gnarly with Fire 3 and Strength +2. Looks like both JS and Honey are taking a dive into the Serpent Trench. Jex is heading to the Dome of Siege, and Nobody War heading to South Figaro Cave, doing some grinding before hitting up the boss, and unfortunately, Welk went into the Gru hole here. And we've got Ultros 2 for Jex Varrock. This is a pretty easy fight, especially with access to Fire Beam. I'm guessing Gao has access to some Fire Magic as well, but doesn't yet really want to use GP Rain. GP Rain is an ability that's based off of your level. So the higher the level you are, the more damage it does. It also splits damage amongst enemies, so the more enemies that are on your screen, the worse off you are. And that's Jex done with Ultros 2 at the same time that Nobody War takes down Welk. And let's see what the rewards are respectively. It's Ramu, Esper number 3 for Jex Varrock there. And Tritok for Nobody War. That's his first Magicite, I believe.
Oh, I thought that was a boss there when it came back. When he said Tritok, I'm like, what, where?
Oh, Magic
Ooh,
Power
Magic Power
plus 2.
+2. Woo! That's spicy.
That's very nice to find early in a seed, especially with Terra with the Magitech ability. So Magitech, even though we don't have access
Beat me to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though we don't have access to the higher level Magitechs, Fire Beam, Ice Beam, and Bolt Beam are equivalent of single target tier 2 elemental spells. So put Magic Power +2 on her, and you at least have 3 tier 2 elemental spells.
Oh, and GS Numbers unfortunately throwing a, which Saban has throw, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Throwing a fire skin at things that absorb fire, so that wasn't great.
Yeah, they look like little fireballs, so probably not a good idea.
Yeah, one thing to note with Final Fantasy games, whatever color the thing is matches the element that probably absorb. Usually, not all the time. Usually. So, if you see something that's red, we'll cast fire on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jex doing a little jump over to the Esper Mountain, and that's Go-Go.
Ooh, gross. No, that's not the Go-Go. I'm sorry.
The curse shield
Nobody
value.
will over the shield. Yeah, 12.
Don't you be
12 of the curse
disparaging my
shield,
Go-Go
great.
like that.
Well,
Yeah.
Go-Go's a no-go to me, but you know, whatever.
Well,
Saban would be
Go-Go-
better with throw.
Oh, for sure. But Go-Go with Magitech and Go-Go with Throw are both great to have.
Oh. No,
Megas-
that's too bad.
Megasrod or Dragonhorn. So we can get the other reward behind wherever the Welk spot is, and it looks like
That is true.
we can put the Megasrod on Edgar, and it is leader here at Esper Mountain. And Go-Go will be the reward after this.
Now, I believe the bosses do have random abilities, right? So we don't know what abilities they have,
Correct.
right? Even though leader just used axe as their, kill counter.
Yeah, the only
But-
bosses we've seen thus far are Ultros and Leader.
Uncle
and,
Ulti, leader, and Welk.
and
Woohoo.
Welk. They all don't have like elemental abilities that can transform into random element, right? So
No.
Nobody War continuing up the world of Ruin Narsh as JS and Honey are done with the Serpent Trench, so they'll get their Esper. Second
Very cool.
Second for Honey and first for JS, I believe.
Nobody War in the World of Ruin is going to be taking a couple of fights here. Doesn't really need to do dragon because, again, the dragons are mixed with other bosses. So the dragon, you don't want to fight the dragon here. Or
Well-
at least that character running around.
Interestingly enough to note, the dragon will drop a high tier item, even if it's a
That's
regular
true.
boss that you fight.
Or too
right?
much hard to him sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you really need the high tier item when we have all these free checks available, right?
No. I would say no.
NPC trolling JS a little bit there. Can't. Get
Oh,
his
but Nobody
reward.
War's going to do it anyways.
He saved, so maybe he's gonna see what this is. Oh, it's
Oh, it's a white Dargon.
the white dragon. Interesting.
With
Okay,
diffuser.
so, yeah.
So Pearl, it's got lightning abilities instead.
Yeah, so that's where you see the random elemental scaling, right? White Dragon only uses Pearl and Pearl-based spells normally, but with
Oh.
the ability scaling set to random, you could choose anything.
That would suck. If we usually cast Pearl twice as an opener. Imagine if we cast Diffuser twice as an opener.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's where things
that would
get
stunk.
That's where things get awful. Torado
It is scaled.
I'm sorry. I was going to say Torado is the reward for Jexarok, and he's going to decide to come back later for Mobliz. So he's not going to do this yet. And that's the first dragon for Nobody War.
Second Cat Hood in the beginner's lounge there, along with 21,000 gold.
Yeah, we were loaded this seed.
They got the monies. There was an economizer. There's also a gem box somewhere too. So we do have cool items to buy. Nobody wore climbing the top of the Tri-Touch here. Nobody wore the Tri-Touch check here. It's the only one kind of adaptively doing a chess as Honey and Jex are shopping. JS is kind of shopping as well. Senor Behemoth, he does have elemental abilities. And he counters with spells when you try to fight him with it, but he is weak to fire, so Fire Beam will be very good to hear. Oof.
Yeah, so normally Senor Behemoth will cast ice things and non-elemental stuff, so we'll see what happens there.
This will also be another a Behemoth suit as well for use.
Yeah, I love fighting Senor Behemoth, just not in Kefka's Tower because it can get ugly real fast.
Oh.
Because you do get a Behemoth suit as one of the rewards, so...
Yep.
Either Senior Behemoth, Scrontium Behemoth, Sriracha Behemoth, Senor Behemoth.
I prefer Senor Behemoth.
Yeah, so Jexarok choosing the Dragon Horn instead of the Magus Rod there. Maybe he knows where some Dragoon Boots are. Because as you mentioned...
Yes, we have seen him several places, actually.
Okay, so as you mentioned earlier, Edgar's tools doesn't necessarily scale all that well into the end game, so maybe Jex is thinking,
right.
I'm going to make my Edgar a Dragoon, and that's what he's going to do for the rest of the seed. Because we picked up an Aura Lance early from Gal Manor, so that's the best lance in the game, and why not?
Yeah, especially when we're not going to find any Luminas or anything like that, so... And the best weapon we found so far are snipers.
Yep.
With the exception of the Enhancer, which is used more for spellcasting than it is for actually fighting with. As we do find Tritalk French Vanilla
yeah, and
outside the cave he's hiding in.
That's an interesting one.
That's pretty good. But Drill should work here along with the Fire Beam, which he actually is weak to, so this should be a pretty easy fight here.
Yeah. This is
Honey is chasing waterfalls, by the way.
Well, we saw what happened when JS went to stick to the Leet River.
Oh no, that's a dirty dragon jumping down the cliff with Honey. That is not a dragon you want to see.
Yeah, weak to water, so if we have some water edges from Sabin, that'll be nice, but
he's on a waterfall.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. The Dirt Dragon probably shouldn't be there. I missed what JS got. I turned away for a half a second. So we'll have to see if he shows us later.
I blinked.
It wasn't a character. It was not a character because the sprite was a Narsh guard. So it was probably an Esper. Given the no free progression. Or not, yeah, the no free progression flag. Alexander is the Esper from Nobody War at the Yeti spot. So we'll see who he decides to take on. And Jexarox is heading up right behind him as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, let me see if I could punch up JS's stream and figure out what he got.
Tunnel Armoire is there for the Yeti in place of that. Usually weak against bolts, so we do have that with our good old Magitech armor. Doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Plus we do have that +2 Esper plug-in away with every level up we get. He is able to take down the dragon. So lots and lots of spell learning there for them.
Very nice.
Jex is fighting the White Dargon in the top of Narsh there, falling along behind Nobody War.
Yeah, Senor
and
Behemoth.
Jess is climbing the hill as well.
Yeah, Senor Behemoth shut him out temporarily. That was not very nice. So we're going to see if he's got some better luck getting some better levels. JS is in the world of Balanced Narsh, whereas Jexfarok is in the world of Ruined Narsh.
I did find an imp there is doing Wolf Check, which is one of Mog's checks. Now, Mog does have a new check now, for those of you that missed it. So, see what happens there. My girl, Celeste, on Honey screen.
Yeah, so that's character number 5 for Honey. We'll see what Celeste has got.
Oh, I didn't see what the Wolfie had. Control natural magic. Well, I mean, Gal's only throwing coins at things. He's gonna keep Gal, though. Surprisingly enough.
Yeah, so JS, that last check was an Esper for him, so I'm gonna mark that down for him. So he's now at 4 and 3. It was an Atma weapon and something else that Lone Wolf was holding. So one of the dead checks was Lone Wolf, unfortunately. And this is an imp here, so this is not a character. It's either an Esper or an item. But with Gao having double GP Rain, he is fine to sit on the bench for this Kefka and Arsh fight here.
Yep. But again, like I said before, Gao has ridiculously high magic power to start with here. So maybe keeping him on board because of his magic power, as Honey finds character number 6 with the Go-Go that we saw earlier from Jex's side. We are in open world as we find a Cyan laying on the ground in the Cave of the Veld.
Very nice.
So we're finding all our characters here very quickly here.
Well, remember, we can get to a skip if we find 11 of them. So normally, I kind of hate finding so many characters early on, but in this scene... Exactly. Oh, we have 12 Magicite, not 11, right? That's our goal.
It's 12. It's supposed to be 12.
8 and 12.
By the way, again, color of the monster you fight, blue flan. Do not cast water or ice on them.
And that's our third Durgan we've seen this seed, the blue one. Speaking of water.
Bluey. Well, he is weak to lightning, so we will be able to use Magic Bolt Beam. As soon as we get Terra back up and running here. Ooh, that sandstorm's gonna hurt though. Yeah, it's down Gao.
Get derooted, Gao. Yeah, so
the water dragon casting dirt.
Blue dragon with elemental scaling is not fun.
No. Because we're basically fighting Bluey, who's weak to Volt, but he's actually Earth, so Pokemon weaknesses, eat your heart out.
Alright, so that's Nobody War's second dragon of the seed.
Which we did not pick the cards there for trying to get extra items from dragons, which would have been the Experience Egg and something else. And is that who I think it is?
Yeah, that is who you think it is.
Just no. Just don't. Just no Kefka and Arsh. We're going to skip Kefka and Arsh completely.
Well, listen, usually with a drill and with like GP Rain, which also ignores defense, and learning the flare spell, you're like, okay, I have the tools to pick out Magimaster. But with random ability scaling, Magimaster can hit you with elements that you don't have weaknesses for.
Everything.
He threw a water edge at JS's party, and the party was just like, I like water, but not that much.
No, we're gonna take a deep sea nap there. So.
Nobody War did get that Magicite. No, that was Cyan. That's who we got. Never mind.
You're gonna be sleeping with the fishes.
So there's the boots you talked about in the shop.
Yep.
There for Honeydew.
It's in a couple shops actually. It's in Nakalith. It's in I always forget this. Yeah. Jador, World of Ruin. So it is in a couple of spots. So those Dragon Horn is definitely going to be very nice to have. Lethal Weapon on screen, by the way, for Jex is a very dangerous. He is weak to lightning, but of course also has wall up, so kind of self-inflicting there as another character goes down on screen again. This is a very difficult creature boss. Not really boss, but.
And another one gone. Another one gone.
So Bolt Beam's gonna get through that. Doesn't worry about your wall. Take that.
Alright, so JS is going to pick up another Esper here at Doma Castle. And we got the Slam Shuffle for Nobody War. You love it, I love it, and we're getting the Rust Red. So yeah, this is technically not considered a free check, but you don't have to fight the dragon or random boss here in this. We'll see if Nobody War decides to do it anyway for a free item.
Cat Hood number 3 for Honey. Oh, we got the worst Marshal possible. With
Covert
coverts. Actually, no, I saw one worse than that. That was too with the with some Magitech armor things that does auto kill.
Oh yeah, the dwellers.
Yeah, the Dweller. Oh god, that was horrible.
So Nobody War did find a Valiant knife in a chest as well, so we'll see if any of his characters can wear it.
Ooh. And we do have the offering that we got for free.
Correct, yeah, so hopefully somebody in his party other than Gao, with the double GP Rain Gao.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Gao's the only one that can use it, and then he really can't use it because he doesn't have a fight command.
Yeah,
so,
Gamble and Gao. Alright, so it looks like our ninjas are dead.
Marshall has a lot of health. Oh my
yeah,
god.
Marshall is deceptively tanky.
There we go.
And
there's an Esper for Nobody War.
He will usually start off with the spell net, although, like, with random ability scaling, it'll be something else. And that is Mog for Jexy. There at the end of Bowser's Mansion.
By the way, I hate that net ability when you try to catch him on the Velt, and he does it on Gao. Go check out my YouTube short, by the way, on that.
Oh god, Dirt Dragon opening Pearl Cast.
Woo,
I guess it's better than Quake.
That's a lot better than Quake, actually.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We have some runners doing, you know, similar things. Like, I think Honeydew is also in Bowser's Mansion. Oh god, this is why the coverts stink.
Oh, this is why coverts suck. Quarters into Ninja Star into quarter?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yikes.
Thank goodness Terra does have a merge vest on for Honey. Now, the interesting thing about this fight for Marshall is you have to kill all the targets. This is not like Vargas and the Pooh Bears, where you have to kill Vargas and it actually kills the Pooh Bears inconsequentially with Vargas. You have to kill all 3 targets. You also have to kill the coverts, too.
Yeah. Really nice heads-up play from Honeydew there, pulling out the rod in order to kill everything at the end.
with health, but it says no to Honey.
Yeah,
he's
I think
keeping that Gao.
I think Honey's party is pretty set. I mean, Gao, you said, has crazy magic power, right? And we had a Fire 3
Yeah, Gao has Enhancer, Behemoth Suit, Oath Veil.
Stacked.
So, yeah, I mean, he's stacked on magic power. And we have Flare, we have Ice 3, I believe. So, yeah, we're both 3 even.
Another non-randomized dragon.
Okay. Okay, interesting Cyan with Scimitar offering. Fortunately, Scimitar does get hindered by the offering's negative part.
Correct. But it can instant death up to 4 times, just not on this boss.
No, unfortunately. JS does get their Celeste. This will be their 5th character, so this will be a possibly swap in for Gao for numbers.
Yep.
Oh, he has capture. Okay, so Cyan with capture, so he's going to try to steal 4 times.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only dragons that have anything is the White Dragon has a Pearl Lance.
Yes. Yeah, White Dragon, who drops 2 Pearl Lances. One you can steal, the other one it drops. So.
All right, and quickly, Nobody War has defeated his 3rd dragon. I mean, not that it matters. I shouldn't even show it.
No. No, it matters. It matters because it helps with the learning of Espers and stuff. Because you still get the 50 magic power learning from it. And he gets a red cap out of that, so increased health. And not gonna get the less. They warped out. Did they even do the end of? Yes, they did. Okay.
Yeah, they got the Esper first,
and then they double back first. Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Search the Skies instant check here for Nobody War is a Flame Eater.
Yeah, so I sometimes do like to do that where I go get the reward first and then double back for the dragon, because if it is an Esper, then you can learn some stuff, right? So.
Yeah, Tri-Touch is also the same way. It's a lot closer to where the dragon is, too, there.
Oh, for sure.
Honey's down in the crypt. One of Setzer's other check. And speaking of Setzer, what we're watching is the new Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Blackjack Battle Royale. If you want to sign up to join the opening gala, that starts tomorrow, Sunday, March 26th, all week long. And then following that will be the Gala, which will be a free-for-all async. So it means you can try to join in anytime you want throughout the week to try to get a play-in to join the event. Everybody will be able to get in the event one way or another. If you don't get into the big Shindig, the Battle Royale, there will be the Lagomorph Lounge, which will be the losers bracket side.
Yep, another red dragon. I did not see what it said sleeps here for Honey.
Golem sleeps tonight.
Oh, it's Golem. Very nice.
It's a very good Esper, but this is Ultra's number 4, so unfortunately no experience off this fight at all. Mog is able to equip the VK, by the way, on Jex's side. So we do have a VK user that can get, of course, we do have the offering available as well. Also have Strength +2, I believe, on one of the Espers, so that'll check out the damage even more so.
Yeah, so it looks like both Jexy and JS, the runners on the right-hand side of the screen, are going to go through to the end of Mount Zozo. Tupon COVID's Honeydew away, and Golem is theirs now.
I want to remind everybody, these are not the only people running right now. These are our featured runners here. We do also have Buffalax, OS, and I believe there's another one I'm missing.
Yeah, Buffalax,
Infinite
OS,
Fluff.
and
That's
Infinite Fluff. Yep.
Infinite Fluff, they're running in the background, so they're also competing as well. So we'll let you know if one of them finished before these 4 do. And Honey's going to start dreaming of better things because they are going to go into Cyan's dream here in just a second.
Ooh,
as
that's a nice
Jex
pickup.
gets their Esper number 5, I believe, for Jex.
Yeah, so-
Tying GS numbers.
Oh, is that number 5 for him? I'm sorry.
It might be
thought it was
5,
4.
4. I don't know. It's Jex. So I never know a Jex.
So, Curse Ring pickup from Honeydew, immediately slapping that on. That will teach you the X-Zone spell at a times 5 or 4 rate, whatever it is.
Times 5 rate.
Okay. It does inflict Condemned on your character, but without access to, the Magitech upgrade, we are not guaranteed an instant death spell in the seed. So I really like putting on the Curse Ring right away. Very
Yeah,
nice
we have
to
not.
do.
We have not seen Shoat, Odin, Raiden, Doom, or X-Zone.
Oh no.
So getting that Curse Ring would definitely help as Honey runs into, oh my goddess.
Yeah, this is not good.
I guess we're dreaming about goddess here.
We do have access to Flare at least, so that's good.
Nobody War is going to get the bad news, by the way, soon. They're going to do a well check first here, but they're going to get the bad news about Magic Master Top the Hill later on.
Yeah, I was going to say we do actually have Shoat. I've seen it on a couple of our runners.
Oh, we do have Shoat available.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shoat does only work on the first tier, not on the second one. But yes, I agree with you. It's always better to have instant death you could pass around versus summon once, right? So.
Yeah, that break is always a good ability to have on long arm, but it's also weak to instant death, so it's better to have more instant death abilities. So yeah. Unfortunately, Edgar getting frozen for his drilling activity does not. Tartatage does not like being drilled through its ice pack around him, but does not like the firebolt either, as 8,000 damage will take that one down.
Yeah, so Jexarock
Purple elements coming out for Goddess instead of water abilities, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of cool because
Slash.
Goddess does absorb Pearl, so you would think she would do Pearl abilities, but she doesn't. So Nobody War picking up the Dragon Horn, remember that he turned down earlier. Jexarock is on the Floating Continent trek. JS searches the sky and picks up Crusader. So he's actually in the Esper lead right now with 6.
And down goes Goddess. Did get Terror up, so Terror is going to benefit from the levels here.
Very nice. Yeah, because with this flag setting of having enemies scale to party highest ×1, you don't really want to leave a character behind, because they are going to just be behind scaling all the time.
Yeah, they're just going to be dragged behind you like constantly throughout the rest of the run. Looks like Edgar did learn the X-Zone ability, so the Curse Ring comes back off. Golem teaches Stop, which can be helpful. Berserk and Quick, there's our
Strain +1.
anti-Magimaster ability.
Yeah, strength +1 is really nice.
Mhm.
So Genji armor was the other choice at Lone Wolf between that and the Atma weapon, FYI.
I mean,
looks
Genji
like-
armor's okay. It's not great, but it's okay.
Yeah. So JS is going to be heading into Cyan's dream here. So, question for you as we see Guardian as the first of 2 bosses. in
Possible
Florida
answer is
content.
Womp. comes out from.
Yeah. See you later.
Woo.
So-
Womp is a physical version of Flare, by the way, in case people don't know.
Yeah, it's ridiculously powerful. It does miss floating targets. But
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
It still hurts. So question for you, Saberwolf, and we probably should have talked about this at the beginning, but in an open world setting, are you trying to go for the fastest checks or checks that sort of synergize with one another? Like Nobody War is doing, the whole World of Ruin Narsh loop, then the whole World of Balance Narsh loop, or are you going for fast checks like Barren Falls into Esper Mountain into, the quickies?
I prefer flow. I prefer doing multiple checks in one place, mostly. So I'll do like stuff like Dream or Magic Facility or stuff like that. Like when I know a bunch of checks are going to be at like individual spot, but I also do checks that are like comboed with each other. For instance, Mog's check with Wolf into Kefka Narsh into Mog's defense.
Right.
Because those are all 3 right next to each other, literally. Because after you do Kefka Narsh, which unfortunately Nobody War is doing now, finding Magimaster there. That's pretty much going to take out his entire party with that one skill. Ice Shield was on Terra, so Terra is going to survive that. This is probably going to be a reset, and it is.
That's just
but
unlucky.
once you finish that check, though, you will be kicked out into Arvis's house, which is the start of the location of Mughul's defense, which is another check that is basically you do the same thing all over again, like you did of Kefka Narsh. So I prefer stuff that kind of combos one into each other, like 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 3 in a row. And at the end, wherever I'm at the end, then I'll go and pick up the quick ones at the end. Then I'll go to Falling House, Thief, the Tizen Thief, stuff like that. Stuff that's quick at the end and I can just polish up on what I need.
Yeah.
So, if I know I have enough characters I need Espers, then I'll do Thief. If I need more characters, then I'll go to maybe a more character possible one like Mount Zozo or something like that, where I know there could be a character at.
Yeah, I think I tend to do the opposite because I don't like to be committed into doing like a check. Like, for instance, Nobody War now has to walk out because Kefka Narsh he couldn't do, right? That's always the risk that you run. And oh boy, speaking of the risk that you run...
It's a spicy chicken! Spicy chicken's in the chat, everybody.
So this is the second statue in Cyan's dream, by the way.
That's, So, going by the premise of what I just said, don't do what I said, okay? Don't do what I just said, because this is gonna be the bad thing, all right?
Yeah. You're just making my points for me here.
Yeah. But we do have Floating Continent, which is a triple check that Jex is doing right now. I forgot what he got in the front end of it. He's currently doing the second part, which, by the way, I hate this. I hate the Floating Continent song, by the way. What? I do take my headset off every single time I do Floating Continent because I cannot stand. I think it's the bass drum sound. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it would have been like those shriek sound effects.
Oh, I think it's the whole entire musical package of Floating Continent. I just have to take my headset off.
Yeah.
But it is a triple check. But most of it's backloaded because you gotta fight 2 bosses before you even get 1 reward. Versus Magic Facility, you get some of the rewards, and then you have to fight the double boss at the end.
Oh no. Ran Train for Honeydew.
Oh, this is going to do single target damage? Okay, so
yes.
I guess we're low enough levels, so it's just going to be single target.
Well, Poltergeist counters every attack with a spell, and since we have random element scaling, that spell doesn't necessarily have to be a fire spell like it normally is.
Ooh, Arrow does a lot of damage as well.
That's where
Yikes.
it gets really dangerous, right? This is where the random element scaling just really screws you over a bit, so...
Yeah, and I think Poltergeist also has access to Stop.
Yep.
Since that's not an element ability. Wombat!
A Marsupial.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's the other ability that basically does flare-type damage to you.
Yeah.
Physical flare-type damage. So Honey's in a little bit of a predicament here. They've already saved inside the dream, so they are physically forced to have to go through Poltergeist. Like, they are stuck in here in the dream. Now I'm turning into a nightmare.
Unless they have a backup save, maybe.
They do not have a backup save. That is their only save. So they are stuck here.
Yep. That's why you always get a second save file when you're in one of these multi-part checks. You know,
Yes,
with
always
Worlds Collide, you
God.
always tend to learn things the hard way. That's the
Yep.
only way to learn. Alright, I'm trying
And
to get
JS
one of
Numbers
Jeff's
is in the dream as well, so...
I'm trying
JS
to get...
Numbers in the dream, so they're going to be fighting their second statue boss here very soon.
Yeah, it's another Esper there for Jex Varrock. I'm trying to figure out what his first reward was. I'm trying to load up his stream, and it's not loading for me, because I think I'm beating the hell out of my PC right now.
Yeah. By the way, iBuyPower, great PCs. Have 3 of them. Have 3 iBuyPower machines, by the way, now. They're all amazing.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I wish I got money from them.
Sponsored by. Yeah,
This stream is brought to you by Blackjack Royale. Which happens to be my dog's name, Blackjack.
Oh, really? My sister had a dog named Blackjack. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
I mean, not anymore. The dog would be like 40 if it was still alive now.
Wow, okay. No, this is a brand new puppy. He's a 2-year-old. Get this. Bassador. Half Basset Hound, half Labrador.
Interesting.
And whenever I'm home, he cannot be more than 2 inches away from me at all times.
So why didn't you call him Terra? You know, like half human, half Esper, half...
Well, 1, it's a boy dog.
Oh, no.
And 2...
Siegfried.
2, I would call him Celeste before that.
So Siegfried
No!
in the red...
Siegfried!
Yeah, so if you start running away as soon as the Siegfried battle starts, you could actually run away right after or right before this attack sequence. So it saves you about half of the annoying Siegfried cutscene fight.
But you have to react very quickly.
Yes. As soon as you see him pop on screen, you hold L and R to do it. We got a couple of spicy chickens in the upper left-hand corner and the lower left and upper right. And then we got 2 floating continents in the other diagonals. So
Wazar and Grand Train? What? Come on!
yeah. And the worst part of it is, like I said,
We don't have lore either.
you can't out-level this spicy chicken, right? So you're kind of stuck.
And I think JS Numbers might be stuck here too. I don't know if they have different saves or not.
I hope they do.
As Flare comes out on Celeste. So forget using Wombat, we're just going to use Flare directly. Man, Spicy Chicken is laying down the law here.
Yeah, this
He's
is
saying, I don't cross the road crosses me. That's what he's saying. But Honey gets him.
Very nice.
Honey finally devours the Spicy Chicken. You're definitely going to need some ice cream after that.
Oh, for sure. Dairy products, here we come.
Yes, dairy products. Here we come. Unless they're lactose intolerant, don't do it.
Yeah, we have a lot of different runners in this seed from a lot of different, backgrounds and skill levels. So it's really good to see everybody, pulling through with certain things that is happening here.
Okay, well that was okay. So the reward for Honey and JS Numbers is Raiden. However, Raiden only has Scan for a spell ability with no extra bonus, and also picking up Bismarck afterwards on the throne. That's gonna take Strength +2 and the Ice 3 that we're missing. So now we have all 3 elements available to us: both fire and ice.
Yeah, so that is going to be Esper's number 7 and 8 there for JS as well.
So JS looking... Honey, by the way, Honey looking really good with the extra characters here. They are the only one to have... I was going to say the only one to have Celeste, but JS Numbers actually has Celeste.
We missed Realm at floating continent number 1 or number 3. It's one of the two.
Oh, Realm?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because Jex
So
Rock
Jex
has
is dealing with
Realm.
the Realm.
Yeah, Nobody War will pick up Realms sooner or later.
Celeste was at the bottom of the waterfall, and what's the other one missing?
Go-Go is at Esper Mountain.
Saban's in camp.
Yeah. And
So
then there's Cyan at the
who was Cave of the Velt, yep. But GS numbers is going to go into the Magitech facility here. This is one of those triple checks I was talking about before. We do need 8 characters, 12 espers, so we got a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
By the way, sorry, I was gonna say mention. By the way, we have Nobody War. We do have the reduced flashes on screen, so this is a much slower fall. Thanks to our devs behind the scenes for Worlds Collide, we are able to adjust certain things that do bother people, like the flashes from the bum rush, or the background animation from falling through the sky here with Atma weapon right now. So that does help with the eyes. Kind of French vanilla. Yeah, you're right.
And you could really see where the pattern repeat is when the sky moves a lot slower. It's fairly obvious where the line is.
Well, I mean,
listen, if I was a coder and I was like, well, if we move it this fast, then you won't see the repeat, I would have done the same thing too. That's a good solution.
And by the way, it's the same exact clouds that's in the background on Honeydew as well. It's the same cloud pattern. They just shifted to the left a little bit more.
Yep. Alright, so the left-hand side of the screen is going to the floating continent. The right-hand side of the screen, we got one in the Magitech factory. So it seems that these multi-part checks are pretty popular, and Nobody War sees a shiny stone on the ground, so that must mean that Realm is at the end of the floating continent.
Oh, okay. Search the skies here for Jex. That's going to run them into Flame Eater, which will be, I believe, an Esper off this Crusader. So that will be Esper number 7 for them. Floating Continent for Nobody War and Honeydew, right? So that will be 2 Espers and a character for them. So Honeydew would actually be at 9 Espers and 8 characters. Honeydew, a new player to the community, by the way. Picking up the game only a couple months ago, is really taking it to our regulars here.
Yeah, so if you'd like to get involved, hit up our Discord. That's a link to it there in the chat. That is the wrong link to it in the chat. I'm going to go fix that.
That is our Discord, yeah. Well, I mean, it does take you to the same place. That website is still active. But we do have FF6... Oh, did it get shut down?
That's the old one. We don't want to, promote it.
I know. It still works, but yeah, it's the old one.
Correct, so...
Well, you want to go to the FF6 Worlds Collide, same as the name on everything else, /Discord.
Yeah, so anyway, if you join our Discord, there's lots of people that will help you out, helping you out with your first seed, giving you tips and tricks and fun facts about Worlds Collide. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time in Worlds Collide. It's an addictive way to play one of my favorite games of all time. You could play with infinite replayability. Not only could you play the same settings over and over again and have different seeds, but as this Blackjack Battle Royale tournament will hopefully showcase, there's tons of different ways to just play the game in general.
Oh yeah, only like 85 different ways. I believe that's the number of cards that are possible to be drawn.
Yep, so here we have, we already know that Jex Rock peaked this earlier, and it was the Torado Esper at Moblins 3.
Yep, and Honeydew having a little problem with Guardian here. Oh, never mind. Finally taking them out. Everybody's still alive, so good XP there. GS numbers is going to give us our first newer check reward here, being a Magitech facility. And our second boss is going to be Tentacles.
Hey, we're 3 for 3 with our statues here.
Statues and Doom.
Now, I know a lot of people say that Doom is sort of the easiest of the statue bosses, but He gives me the most trouble.
Yeah, and also compound by the fact that Pumbaa blew out 2 of our characters.
Oh yeah, that doesn't.
Which, so now we have to fight Doom with only 2 characters now.
Yeah.
And he best be frozen, Terra.
Ugh.
Terra taking out the fight here, leaving us only with a jumping go-go here. And Go-Go's frozen as well.
Oh, this is a reset.
Oh no, yep. There's the blue screen of death popping on the screen there for a reset.
All right, let's see what JS gets here. He's slowly racking up the Esper totals. This will be number 11 for him. And there is Odin.
Odin. Yep, so this is another is-to-kill Esper. Carrying nothing but stamina, so not much there. It'd be good for the final Kefka fight, but that's about it. We had to find Ragnarok at some point, apparently, for JS numbers.
I should increment the right people's numbers at the right time.
Yeah, that's why I always go back and look at their streams with their tracker. And there's that Siegfried again. A random fight at the end of Floating Continent. That stinks.
Yeah, like I said, if you start to run away at the very start of this fight, you avoid this whole cutscene thing.
Ooh. Gunner coming out from the Welk's shell on Jex for Rocks' screen.
That's
what?
amazing. That is truly amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, too bad Welk's magic power is like nothing, so it's just a waste of time.
Was the time? That was spectacular.
I think because Welk, I don't know. Yeah, it's because I would.
Mog. Oh, he killed him. Okay, good. It's like Mog, stop taking the shell.
Did he accidentally attack the shell? Is that what happened?
Well, yeah, because his Mog has a VK offering, so he was kicking the crap out of the shell.
Yeah, that makes
and Shell's
sense.
like,
I'm
oh, yeah,
wait
you want
a
to kill
minute.
me instantly with VK? I'm going to hit you with freaking Gunner. Screw you.
Yeah, because I was going to say, Welk's head doesn't have, oh, thank you for showing me the tracker screen, Dex. Appreciate it.
Yay.
Yeah, I was going to say, Welk's head doesn't cast any magic, right? So
I don't
it's just
know.
attack and slime.
Tri-Touch. And that's for number 12. So JS not finding the characters that everybody else is finding. So we know that we have to go to Cave in the Veld. We have to go to Falls, which you already went to Falls. Never mind, you guessed less. Where was the Moogle? The Moogle was. We know Realm was at the end of the Floating Continent. Where was Moogle?
Darn. Where was Moogle?
Oh, Moogle was in Jador with the Ozer's Mansion.
Oh, Ozer's
Yeah,
Mansion. Yes. Thank you.
I saw it pop up on the
Thank you,
screen, but I said
Delissa.
it before you said it, Delissa.
All right, so Jex is at 7 and 9. Nobody War is picking up his realm here.
Speaking of which.
So I think.
JS Numbers getting a go-go here. So there we go. Zone Seek. Oh, but Honeydew is going to bail. This is character number 8, and they're going to bail.
That's an interesting call
Oh, no. Oh, Realm was right there at the end of Island. At least we can skip Siegfried now.
there. Yeah. The real Siegfried skip.
Oh my goodness! But we're gonna go to Magitech anyway facility instead here.
Yeah. So Honeydew has not found Cyan yet at the Velt Cave, right? So there's at least character number 8. So luckily that we know of an out for them.
So the characters we have not seen have not Runner who's not being seen tonight. As Strago, Locke, Setzer, our host of the Battle Royale, and Shadow have not made and of course the Yeti have not made an appearance yet this run. And we do have a skip on. It is 11 characters. So that's only adds to the
Yeah, I
fact
don't- I
that
don't thi- I don't
skipping
think
on
we're
that
gonna see
realm
that.
there.
I
By the
don't-
way, we are 1 hour into the race. Again, we wanted to mention that before. This is the opening showing of the Worlds Collide Blackjack Battle Royale. The event starts. Signups for the event starts tomorrow. Just during the opening gala, which will be the free for all async race with no mix-ups, no crazy battle royale stuff there. This is gonna be the basic seed. And we're gonna look for multiples of 5 people to be in groups. So please, everybody join. It'll be lots of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to signing up and seeing what happens in the initial rounds and whatnot. JS Peking Mobilis, founding a Torado, says no thank you. I need a character. Well, 2 more characters to be precise, but...
Yeah.
Ooh, Dullahan with the opening Quake for Honeydew.
Oh, that's okay. Well, 2,000 HP on everybody. We're doing
believe
good.
it or not, a chariot on fire with a skull is not undead, and it is floating. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. Well, it is a ghost, so it is floating in the air. Or spirit. I say it's a spirit, not a ghost. So technically it's not dead.
Hmm.
I don't know, it's weird that way. But GS Numbers is going to find character number 7 here. This is going to be Cyan. Again, we are an open world, so they can go anywhere they want to try to find where the characters and espers are.
Yeah.
So we're not character locked and bound. We can do whatever we want here. But free checks are off, so any of the checks that would be immediately available or just free because you don't have to fight a boss or anything like that, those are still going to automatically be items. So
Yeah, I really like JS here going to peekable checks because he knows he's done with espers. I only need characters. Let's run through all of the checks that I could peek, and if it's not a character, bail out. If it is a character, then I want.
yeah, well, they're
Gimme,
definitely going to
gimme.
run out of that because we need 2 characters here. I mean, the only other one we haven't checked and peeked yet would be Magi Tower. We haven't checked yet.
Yeah, I was going to say we have Fanatics Tower. JS hasn't gone to not Ebbets Rock, the other one, Daryl's Tomb.
Daryl's Tomb.
There is also...
But that's Gollum. We want that anyways because it's Gollum. But
Yeah. So Fenrir was the Esper at Tizen, so we know where both Gollum and Fenrir are. Yeah, but we'll run out of checks that we could peek pretty soon. Edgar's first engine room we could peek.
Apparently Celeste can also weld the VK. Apparently.
Oh, and
So
Phantom Train,
Mog
we haven't
and
done one,
Celeste. We haven't rode the train yet, but we don't have Blitz to suplex it either. So,
That's
ooh,
fine.
Barbie's and critics. Ow. That wasn't there before.
Yeah, interesting.
So maybe do the monsters in camp scale with levels then?
The
Or that's
monster
just the
mobs,
high
yeah,
percent chance of the
it's
mob.
yeah, so each mob is replaced with a random sort of mob.
Okay,
ID.
Tuskers and Cypresses are a lot better.
And as Silverthorn points out, Moogle Defense is also another peekable check.
That is true. Yep, it is.
So we have like 4 or 5 different checks that JS can go to. for,
Technically, Yeti's peekable as well in Norsh, World of Balance, which we know is not a character.
Correct. Yep.
Because we've already
Unlucky
seen that
X-Zone.
earlier. Oh yeah.
Nobody wore picking up
Jex.
Sabin.
Okay. Jex is doing part 3 of the train ride because why not? He needs another character, Esper.
Correct. Yeah. It doesn't matter what's at the end here. It'll help him either way.
Doesn't matter if you. Oh, okay. We're hitting the chest here. For Nobody War.
It's
Again, the chests are 100% random, so it could be anything.
It won't be an Illumina or an Experience Egg.
Pod bracelet, meh.
Yeah, definitely not worth the cutscene.
If you punch it, the sentry comes out and you hide in the chest. Hide behind the chest, actually. But if you kick it, the dog comes out and you will have to get into that fight, so...
Yeah.
So you always want to punch the chest. Not that I recommend doing that. Because you don't want to hurt yourself. Honeydew does get the Odin Esper on Magitech 2. Jixrock is still riding the train, or at least the cart. Nobody War is going to jump out the falls. That's going to be their Celeste. So it's going to be character number 7 for them. And just numbers is peeking the tower, and that is not a character. That is a ghost. Who, I guess, floats up to the top of the tower and fights you, I guess? I don't know. Just numbers is running out of peaks here. They're going to have to commit to something that's not going to be checked on.
This one
It's going to go to the tomb that you
still
mentioned before. That is not a character that is Gollum, but they'll probably still take it, though.
Yep, Ebbett's Rock, here we come.
Oh, Home Tusk. Oh, not much damage, though.
All right, what's at the end of the long line cart?
It is
a ninja.
Shadow!
Oh, God.
There's our character number 8.
Sir Dragon countering with Merton.
Oh, what?
That's fun.
So instead of Quake, it has Merton.
I also think I saw Ultima.
Uh-huh.
Earlier, yep. That was his opening attack.
Oh, and now we have...
rather have Quake.
Oh, God. Well, now Jex Rock is fighting the painting now. Fighting Chad, who just does usually have lightning spells. So we'll see what... Oh, Womp. Wow, everybody just replaces their skills with Womp, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it is, non-elemental, very high skilled. So at these levels, you're going to see very high damaging spells. So this is where the non-elemental, the scaling that is random instead of elemental gets kind of scary, because a lot of this stuff, can translate to non-elemental. Honeydew, meanwhile, did short circuit out before finishing, so no shadow for them.
Yeah, so Heine unfortunately bailing on 2 characters. Possible characters here.
Yep, still can get Cyan in the Velt Cave.
Yep.
That is Celeste for Nobody War, so he is in character go mode. Same thing
Well,
with Jex Rock.
Here's the other disappointing thing with Honey. They're doing 3 checks that could be characters, and none of them are going to be a character.
Yeah.
So, in fact, and the third one they're going to do is actually going to be, or actually 4 checks. They're going to do 4 checks that could be characters, and none of them are going to be characters.
Yep.
Because you also get the Moogle Defense after that.
Well, we don't know what's at Moogle Defense yet, so we'll see.
JS, we don't know. It's right.
Right, so JS, in spite of already having 12 Espers, decides Golem is valuable enough to pick up his Calmness Protection, right? So
it's
that
S plus tier.
Well, he hasn't
Golem
found
is S plus tier item. So.
He hasn't found Fenrir yet, right? Which we know is at the Tizen Thief. And he's not going to go buy the Tizen Thief now because he already has 12 Espers, right? So glad to see that he will at least have his Calmness Protection in Golem.
Very true. Nobody War going into Zone Eater. We have not gone into Zone Eater. That's actually a free check that is still progressionable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because Yeti and Gogo are technically, well, they only have 1 check, so there's going to be a character or...
Right.
Esper. Although I did do Gogo's check the other day, and it was an item. So.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like, it can be a character...
But we know free lunch does help a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh, free Dragon Horn.
Yeah, we don't need a second one, though.
An Ice Shield?
How
about a second Ice Shield?
We could always use an Ice Shield. Because you can crack it and throw it at an enemy to do an unblockable max damage tier 3 elemental spell. So that's really nice to have, actually. Atma Weapon is what Honeydew decides out of Lone Wolf, and... considering that they have 12 Espers and they just need 1 character, I will be surprised if they go through with Kefka and Narsh here. And they will hopefully dodge the Magimaster bullet, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. They're probably going to dodge this. Yep.
So we'll see if Honeydew decides to do the Moogle Defense, and JS has given us our first look at Mount Cults, and it is an Ice Dragon.
Oh, you best be frozen.
Oh, God.
Everybody but Edgar. Who does not have any fire spells.
Hey!
Because we're only drilling things and jumping on things.
There's another character. Strago is at Zone Eater.
Okay.
I mean,
Let's
nobody
go
war
to
doesn't
9.
need character number 9.
Number 9. Number 9. We got to get our pop culture reference in, people.
Yep.
This is Saturday. Saturday Chaos, Community Chaos at night. We have to hit our quota on pop culture references and songs.
So
And we talked about Dave Muir tonight, so hey.
Not again.
No.
Oh god.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, so I think Nobody War was deciding if Strago was worth it. Can use the Valiant Knife, but I think he already has Celeste for that.
Yes, we have Celeste and a Moogle for that, so if you have one or the other, no sense of taking an old man to try to swing the knife for you. Jex Varrock picking up Esper number 13, I believe?
No, that's number 12.
12, okay. So
Yeah,
that
sorry, I picked
is...
it a little early.
Look?
That is go mode for him, yep.
Oh, no animation though, because I have the animations. Sorry.
All good.
Alrighty. Nobody wore, by the way, Ragnarok and Minerva on their Terra with 2 earrings.
All right.
Marvel Shoes offering on Celeste with VK Knife. It's some pretty good items. Again, 100% 100% random chest will do that for you. Jack's going at a 111, call it 25.
Yeah, not bad for a 812. Our runners are probably going to get pretty close to max scaling, as Delassa points out in the chat. 50 is our maximum scaling, so that means the enemies in Kefka's Tower will be level 50, and unfortunately, we're going to be fighting them against reduced parties. Now, thankfully, as I knock on wood, most of the bosses we've seen out in the wild, right? We've seen all 3 of the statues and Magimaster. There are still some bad ones. Yeah, there are still some bad ones.
And Behemoth. So the 3 Stooges, I believe, is the only one we haven't... No, we thought 3 Stooges somewhere, I think.
No, we did not yet.
No, okay, so 3 Stooges is still out there.
Doomgaze.
Doomgaze is out there.
But
Opening
to be fair,
Quake from Blue Dragon on Honeydew.
Yeah, to be fair though, with random ability scaling, that makes most bosses way more difficult than they normally are, right? Because they can always hit you with a non-elemental version of whatever spell it is, and you can get wumped or wombated.
Well, Edgar is at level 50, so he's max scaling.
Yep.
As Delissa points out. So any extra levels that Edgar's going to get here is going to put them even further. Is going to put them ahead of where we're going. Moogle Defense is not a character either.
No, unfortunately not.
Is unfortunately going to be an item or Esper.
JS doesn't realize that Mog is at... oh god.
Oh no! So he thinks it's Mog.
Yeah, and yeah.
Oh, see, this is why I mentioned that we need to use a different sprite than Mog for this.
Yeah, I mean, with
Because
character gating on, it's
why.
understandable, but with open world on, it's confusing.
Yeah, so Ragnarok was the reward at the end of Falling House.
Yeah, so Collapsing House is considered free progression, so that's why that's an item. And Nobody War, I don't think has purchased the Esper at Zen. It is Fenrir, we know that. So I'm hoping that he does that here.
Man, enhancers were in like all the shops in this seed.
Yeah.
GS Number is facing the Ghost Train, which is a rear attack fight here. But Celeste does have almost no HP here, so Oh Evil Toot opener from the train.
Yeah, that's
only affecting Terra though, looks like.
I mean, yeah, we could be condemned on Sabin and Celeste.
Oh, I didn't see the numbers pop up on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but Celeste is going to take care of business there with over 9,000 damage worth of
what? 9,000?
12,000 damage of VK Knife, sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do not have access to Blitz with these characters. Normally, you see Sabin and you see a train and you go, here we go. But Saban actually has
Oh.
throw in this flag set. So
Mega Elixirs for
train
Nobody War.
suplex.
Honeydew is now entering Kefka's Tower. Unfortunately, I say that unfortunately at 1:15:10 because they did skip out on Floating Continent and Magitech Facility 3. Each of those had characters.
Yeah.
So Honey would have been actually ahead of Jex if they did those extra third parts there, unfortunately. As Nobody War looks like they're going to do a Dream here, which is going to be 2 statue fights. It is 3 Espers, which is what they need. So they will get the rest of the Espers they need out of this.
I'm surprised he didn't buy to Zen Thief.
Well, I might do that. I might do that afterwards. I might say, I can get probably at least 2 Espers out of this thing. And be like, and then I'll do like Thief at the end, but they're going to get all 3 Espers out of this, so.
Sorry, there is no go-go for Nobody War, my bad. He missed the kid.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Nobody War missed the kid. And JS taking the
that's-
long way out with the security checkpoint.
That's awkward.
So, after the Moogle defense, if you walk up into the room where all the Moogles are, you can use a Warp Stone or the Warp Spell to get out in the World of Balance. This is an FYI. And that is a Vanilla Inferno down for Jexfarok. That is not what you want to see upon entering Kefka's Tower. One of the tougher bosses. So,
Yeah.
we did see Guardian up in the Floating Continent, so all of the Kefka Tower bosses we've seen. So there's still just a couple floating out there that are not nice.
Regular Atma, as we haven't seen yet.
That's a bad one. And we haven't
Regular
seen a few of the
Atma and the
dragons, too.
Stooges. And yeah, we still got dragons available. Specifically,
Storm Dragon we haven't seen.
yeah, Stormy.
And the Skull Dragon we haven't seen, and the Gold Dragon we haven't seen. Now, normally some of them are not problems, but remember, random ability scaling means you get opening quaked from Goddess. And JS...
Oh, Setzer!
Yeah, so JS is going through a peekable check here, and is finding his go mode with Setzer after racking up 15 Espers.
It's not just any Setzer. It's our Battle Royale mascot, or host, I should say, Setzer.
Yeah. Yeah, so if we would have gone to Owser's Mansion or Floating Continent or Zone Eater, we could have gotten one of the other characters first, but JS found somebody, thankfully. Keep this a pretty competitive race.
Yep, because Nobody War is going to get their go mode at the end of this, but they are going to have to fight through 2 statues to get there, though.
Yeah.
And Goddess and the Spicy Chicken.
And there will be in the
So-
high 40s in their levels, so this is not
Yes.
fun. Next challenge for Jexfarok is Fun Baba 4. A big tank of HP, but with a offering Valiant Knife.
Yeah, dealing 20,000 damage, almost. And now we're going to be dealing more damage here in a second, if we can get back around to him.
Yep.
Yeah, 6,000 damage a swing now. So that's 24,000 damage.
Yeah,
Out of a
20,000
one little
20,000 on the first turn, 24,000 on the second turn. That's one dead goblin.
And we have JS numbers with an anime on screen with octopus on top of tentacles. Yeah.
Alright, so that is Setzer and go mode for JS
Also have health.
1986. Yeah, so
Good
the
year, I
abilities
guess.
were random with a possibility of duplicates, so that's something that could happen. Oh god, another boss that we hate to see.
Oh, that was the other one I couldn't remember. Airship.
Hopefully these Valiant Knife swings will take it away, because it's like kind of a glass cannon. It doesn't have a lot of health. And thankfully we removed 2 of the parts of Air Force, so now we only have 1 that could damage us.
Yeah, but we do get the spec in there, so we still have to damage something else.
Yeah, the Spec's dead in 1 shot, and now Air Force is dead too.
Yep.
Very
Yeah,
nicely
so good.
done.
Good on Jexfarok for putting the Moogle with the killer knife on the right side there.
All right, so the middle path is clear for Jexvarok. Honeydew is getting up to the switches, and JS is probably going to make a beeline for that tower as soon as he is done with his last-minute shopping here at the Figaro castle.
Yeah, we're about an hour, 20 minutes in, so everybody's probably feeling pretty good on where they are in the race here.
Yeah. It's weird because normally at an hour and 20 and I'm not in the tower yet, I'm panicking hard, but not in this flag setting where we had to get to 8 and 12 versus our usual 6 characters and 9 Esper, right? So.
Yeah, much more characters and Espers you normally have to get. Do you have the possible skip available if you found all the characters? We did find a lot of characters.
Yeah, we could have gotten to 11 with, I think the only 2 that we haven't found is Umaro and Locke, right?
Well, Honey technically would be at 10 characters now at this point if they did do the extra 2 there. So very possible.
Yeah, Umaro and Locke were the only ones where we don't know where they are.
Yep, they were the unfounded heroes. We did not go into Phoenix Cave. We didn't go into see what the other checks we didn't do.
Skull Dragon.
Burning House. We didn't go to Burning House either.
None of the longer ones, right? Leet River.
Yeah, some of the longer ones. You have to. Honey is at the Guardian check again. That is Pumbaba. It's a stack of health here. Weak to poison, oddly enough.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. Wow. Okay. Woo.
For a second, I saw the Mog Sprite and I was like, "Oh God, a confused Valiant Knife user."
Well, that's Terra. There's Terra, but she does get whooped in the face by a wombat.
Those marsupials, man. See, this is the danger of having random element scaling is you run into situations
disaster.
like this.
Oh, misses. This should do it on this fire. Nope. Very close.
Yeah.
Oof.
Thankfully getting hit with a physical instead of another spell. Meanwhile, Funbaba on Honeydew's screen is giving his team the business. A little offering sniper action on Sabin. And we got our Vanilla Inferno here. Opening Wombat and Night Gal.
Yeah, Gal being put down just like a Calmness card. Which took him out of this Battle Royale tonight.
But then he just kept on coming back. He just kept pulling me back in. To borrow a, Scarface line. Alright, Nobody War dealing with his second statue boss in the dream.
Oh, Terra gets stopped. Oh, man.
You know what to do, peeps in the chat, if you got them.
Yep. Oh, and that is a wipe for JS numbers.
Yeah, Inferno is rough. And when you only have 2 characters in your party, and one of them is a scrub at level 7, you're going to be in for a world of hurt.
Gal, what are you doing?
And we got another emote coming out here. The Dabbing Yeti over for Jexvarok is the only thing that's standing between him and Kefka. Shadow just got knocked into Final Fantasy VII.
Oh! Round 2! Wow, Yeti flexing.
Yeah. Yeti don't play.
Oh, now he's even powered up more with that green cherry.
Yep. Meanwhile, Honey taking care of his middle path, and that is a Ultima from Spicy Chicken.
Oh, wipe! Oh my god!
Yeah, that is oof all around.
Oh. Oh, nobody.
Alright, so Umaro does eventually go down. Jexvarok's Edgar is the last king standing there.
Now, you have Atma Weapon on Edgar with JS numbers. Would you try to slap the offering on him, although you have extra targets you might hit with it?
The problem with the Atma Weapon here in this fight, as that's going to end this fight.
Oh no, Delta hit again?
So,
It's the same thing happened last time.
oh,
I missed.
He's got a safety bit or a memento ring on. Very nice. So part of the problem with the Atma weapon is it does less damage as you lose HP, right? So
Right.
Inferno does very, very powerful physical attacks. Atma weapon makes you have to be in the front row. So it's kind of a very risky strategy there to use Atma weapon. But JS pulling through. As Nobody War's party rather is in a spot of bother. I turned
And this
into
is for two
Bostonian for a
espers.
second. Nobody War's potty.
And and Poltergeist is protecting two espers here. As Jexferox gets to the top of the hill, 125.45. That was a Kefka Tower time of exactly 14 minutes.
He queues up the Mega Elixir, but unfortunately the Meteor cast comes out first, and that's another reset.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is... yikes. And it looks like Jex may have forgotten to switch around some equipment or gear here, as he opts to reset before choosing his party.
Yeah,
I'm guessing...
Yeah, I'm guessing forgot to oh, okay, interesting.
Muscle belt.
Put some muscle belt on. He's just trying to see oh, interesting. So heal up, then muscle belt to get the health difference. 7,000 HP Moogle? Anybody?
Yeah. That's what's up.
That Moogle. He is fluffy. That Moogle is fluffy.
He's been hitting the gym. All right, so take two. 127 on the dot is when we ascend up into Kefka.
Yeah. Well, it would have been 14 minutes, but yeah.
Meanwhile, JS getting past Inferno is about to head onto his boss gauntlet. Honeydew, I believe, has two bosses left, the left side and the right side, and we're going to see
Which are not too bad fights.
Yeah, Skull Dragon over here is not... Yeah, this one could get nasty, so we'll see how it pans out for them.
I want to remind everybody, we do have 3 other people running in the background with Infinite Fluff, OS, and Buffalax. None of them have finished yet, but we'll let you know if they do finish at some point.
Yeah, maybe I could punch them in.
Yeah, punch them in like you punch Jexferox to start the game, right?
Here we go.
Kefka climb time.
Yeah, so tier 1 is mostly physical attacks, so what we'll probably do is take out the head first. Weak to fire. We'll death counter with Quake if left alive last. So that's our priority target. Another priority target is the long arm, that's susceptible to instant death, which I don't think Jexferox has, aside from the Odin Esper. I saw he could summon it, but I think it looks like he's saving it for tier 2.
Yeah, looks like he's going to save it for tier 2. Long arm does have a lot of HP, which can throw this fight off a little bit and can punch really hard with that arm. So this is going to be a little awkward here.
Yeah, the problem with his party composition is he does have that Mog with that Valiant Knife offering, right? And since we want to kill these bosses in a certain order, we have to be careful to make sure that we kill the parts that we need to kill before Mog just starts teeing off with that Valiant Knife.
Yeah, this is one of those things where the Valiant Knife and Atma weapon do fall off a little bit when the fight to final Kefka is that you have multiple targets you want to hit, but you don't want to hit all of them at once. As Nobody War with another AoE spell coming off with Quake from the Spicy Chicken.
Yeah, has access to Bio, which is Spicy Chicken's weakness, and does make it through there, keeping his party very healthy. Really nice job.
And that will be their go mode once they pick up both of these Espers here. Head is dead there for Jack, so he's just dealing with the 2 hands now.
Yeah, I think Long Arm is also dead, so we just have the Fist, which does counterattack everything. So we do have to be careful, as you saw, doing 900 damage to Terra. So Terra has to be careful to not... Ooh. Has to be careful with this next hit and this next
No.
attack.
Casting Fire 2 on herself because she does have a fire shield.
There you go.
So with the lack of healing spells, we do have our elemental shields that we can heal off of instead.
Yeah, that's a nice heads-up play there from Jex.
And that is the end of Tier 2. We're moving on. Sorry, Tier 1. Now we're moving on to Tier 2.
All right, Nobody War picking up Go Mode Esper there on the throne after that arduous fight against the 2 statue bosses. We have 1 more boss to go for Honeydew, and we have 2 more bosses to go for JS. I'm sorry, 3 more bosses to go. That was Fun Baba. We still have to do Air Force, and then the Skull Dragon, and then Honeydew has to do...
Oh, no more. Honeydew's on the hill.
Oh, it's Umaro for the last boss, but Honeydew already defeated Umaro. Okay,
Yep.
so Tier 2, there's 4 different parts. I don't know if we have access to mute. I'm pretty sure I've seen some of our runners pick up Siren. I think maybe JS did. He's the one with 15 Espers, so that's probably a good guess if it's any
Too
of
bad
them.
that wasn't the skip, though.
So, Magic, which is the one that's getting damaged now by the Valiant Knife in the back there, can be muted. The Tiger is weak to ice and will cast all sorts of nasty things. The Tools is susceptible to instant death in the middle, so maybe we'll see that Odin Summon come out this time around. And then Hit will counter with 10 hits, which is just physical damage, so. Low quick, double fight action here. Easy way to take down a bunch of different parts of this boss at once. Meanwhile, Tier 1 for Honeydew is going to decide to pull out the Odin here on this tier.
Another weakness also on Tier 2 is Bluey, the guy in the front there sitting on top of Tiger, is weak to stop. So you can take him out of the fight temporarily.
Yeah.
We'll have to deal with him eventually.
To me, it's never worth casting Stop because Hit only does 1 swing per turn. The 10 hits is sometimes dangerous, but the 1 hit per turn is not that big of a deal. Alright, and here Nobody War is coming into Kefka's Tower. Deciding to leave Grandpa on the airship. Alright, down to just Hit and Magic here for Jex Varrock.
Yeah, it's typically the last 2 that you want to fight here. Magic is countering with Quarter rather. Quarter. I'm tired, sorry guys.
That would be a cool
it is
spell.
one of his counters.
Equator? That's another Earth spell.
Well, I think that would be a moon magic spell. So let's go Final Fantasy IV here.
Oh!
With some moon magic.
There it is.
Ooh, Aqua Rake there coming out from the Black Dragon.
Yeah, that's more of that, random element ability scaling there. Because the Skull Dragon never casts water spells.
Nah.
Alright,
Or
so Nobody
crazy
War,
fire magic either.
Nobody War gonna get the bad news that this is Inferno here.
Ooh, Honey moving into Tier 2. Matching Jex for Rock here. Interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately Jex is on to Tier 3. And I know that Jex purchased Fenrir from the Tizen
so Jex has Fenrir. Also, Golem works pretty well here too because that's going to block off the guy there sleeping in the front. It's Kefka sleeping. That's why we call him Sleep. The more damage he takes, the more agitated he gets, and he's going to counter with things like Medio and Calmness. Calmness is an insta-death kill, but it is physical, which Golem and Fenrir do block. Floating right behind Sleep there is what we call Girl. They have 9,999 HP. Their only purpose there is just to keep healing Sleep. And if you do kill Sleep first, I believe she also casts Life too, so she can resurrect him.
Yes. Do you want to kill Girl?
So it's very important to kill Girl first. Try to take out the quad 9s on her. Which Mog is having a hard time redirecting the skills here a little bit onto Girl. Attacking Sleep instead, putting this into a very precarious position here.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers of using the offering is the not targetable damage. But when there's
Or
only one
Dragonhorn, for that matter. Well, I think
Mm.
Girl might be dead here already.
Yeah, so we're in Medio phase, and Jexvarok has the quick queued up with a little fight, and this should pass the 10,000 HP that he needs to finish this off, and he will be going on to Final Kefka. It just depends on how many party members are going to be joining him here.
Yeah, well, here comes the calmness out here. Fenrir
Oh
is
my
going to block it.
God.
Oh no, Mog! The
Oh
main damage
my
dealer for
God.
Jex goes down after a double calmness targeted attack.
Holy
Getting rid of
cow.
all the extra images. Man,
That
tough
is-
luck there.
That's a controller throw in in most cases there, because you prepare, you do everything you can for calmness, and you know it just decides not today, sir.
Replacing Ma is going to be unfortunately a Darity Dead Cyan.
Yeah, the corpse of our sword tech knight there.
Who I believe has health for their ability.
Yeah, it doesn't
So,
matter. He still has.
Cyan, not going to be much help there.
So, although Jex lost his most powerful damage dealer, he still has 3 of his 4 party members here. I don't think this will be too much of a problem as long as he does the Dance of Kefka correctly. So, Kefka has 60,000 HP. We'll start off with Fallen 1 after the first turn, which is what you'll see as soon as the quick goes away. Because right now the ATBs are frozen. But after that, then we will see Kefka charge up for Goner, and that's when he can't counterattack.
I thought Welt does that.
Well, apparently Welk does do that.
Yes, numbers is on the Switch as well. Going to Kefka's climb here.
Very nice. So, yeah,
10
Welk-
hits coming out for Honey.
Yeah, so Kefka will start countering with some brutal things like Hyperdrive and Havoc Wing, the highest damage single target, both magical and physical attack in the game. And under 10,000 HP may counter with Ultima, which we have also seen already from some other bosses in this scene. So,
And with a scaling up to 50 now with Kefka, that could deal a lot of damage.
well, the final battle was not scaled, right? It's the same as it always
Archer that's
is.
locked at yeah.
Meanwhile, Honey up to tier 3 as JS starts this fight. So pretty close competitive race overall.
Yeah, very close here. Nobody works else to get through the gauntlet of the statues and all. Nobody's finished yet, so looks like Jexvarok may be our actual community race winner here very soon.
Yeah, so he's playing some tricks with the ATB here. By using Quick, it stops the ATB of everybody, bosses, of enemies, of friendlies. So that's how he's getting in these free hits.
Ow.
And there it is, the Boom Shakalaka, the Crack Pow 138.26 is the time for Jexvarok. He is your winner of this race. And we'll see if we can grab him in for an interview. I'm going to try and shuffle some things around, so have at it here, Sigil.
I'll pull him if he comes in. I'll pull him out for you. I'll get him for you. We're gonna see if we can find one of our other runners here. Again, we do have Infinite Fluff, both Beefalax and OS running in the background off stream right now. We're gonna see if we can pull any of them in. But pulling into the room, we have Jexvarok, our Saturday Chaos winner. Hello, how you doing, buddy?
GG's.
Now, take us through the run just a little bit on how it was overall. I mean, open world, no free progression, starting with Terra, with Magitech. How was it overall?
It was. I had a couple of issues to making decisions on what check do I want to do next. That was my big thing. When I got towards end game, I'm like, I need a Hail Mary something, and I decided on M-Tech, which got me my 7th 7th or 8th character, and I needed like one more Esper, and ran into a couple of minor issues with going over to Mobilez, and I'm just like, all right, skip this fight. Let's go to the next one, because Doom was over there and he froze my party. I'm like, I'm not doing that again. Not worth the time loss to just, get frozen or North Crossed. Aside from that, like the offense, it was a little nutty, and throughout the seed I just did little optimizations here and there, like changing my Dragoon from Edgar down to Go-Go was a big benefit, because I knew the late game his stats his vigor was going to be on the very high side. And I think it was like 75 when I got to Final Kefka. Plus the being level 50, I knew Drill was going to do a lot of damage, so I opted to go with that partway through the seed. Valiant Knife offering Mog, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, Mog and Celeste with the VK offering combo for whichever one you had.
Yep, for me, it just happened to be Mog.
Yep. Throughout the whole race, actually, you were running second place overall. Fortunately, Honey, who will be joining us, looks like very soon here, as they are on Final Kefka as we speak. They were running a couple a character and some Espers ahead of everybody else, actually. But they actually elected to skip Magitech 3 and Floating Continent 3, sitting on 7 characters. So that put them behind you as you went into Kefka's Tower at 111.25. They went into Kefka Tower 115.10 looking for that character. So very close race overall.
Yeah. I mean, like overall, the draft seeds and draft races, that's generally
That's your jam.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Oh. Ultimate coming out for Kefka here, knocking down the party down to below 3,000, immediately going into the charge up.
That's called getting lucky.
Oh, but here comes the snipers out for Sabin.
Those sweet procs.
Wow. Honey coming in second at 142.34.
Proc-a-bye, baby. Gotta love to see it.
Yeah, Kefka is a floating target, so those procs do have a higher chance of hitting. So
I was really hoping Edgar could use the sniper, because I would have just sat on that, the plus vigor, throw the offering on, and just gone to town with him.
yeah, ammo weapon ended up being his only real weapon other than Pearl Lance if you found the White Dragon, which almost everybody did. Air Force bringing out the Quake on everybody. Of course, he's floating, doesn't get any effect on that, so that was interesting. Honey, second there. GG for you.
I hope y'all had as much fun as I did.
GG.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you had a very interesting run. You were actually leading most of the way, generally in the race there.
Yeah, well, I underestimated that 2 of these flags were gonna have a lot of synergy. It was my card, which was you can't do free checks, and the boss's skill with your main character. So those two force you to fight for every check. So I'm not even halfway through my overworld stuff, and I'm getting quaked and quasar'd and grand trained and all kinds of nasty stuff. I wasn't ready for all that.
Oh, you were getting that stuff? I was getting hit by Wump.
Oh well,
Wump
we had.
I got wumped. I took a reset on a wump.
Oh, Honey got hit with. Who were they fighting there? Got hit with Quasar into Grand Train into Womp with Poltergeist.
Oh, what made that fight more trolly was the fight before it gave me an Esper that had stop on it, but there's no fights in Doma Dreams, so I never had a chance to learn stop. And it was a times 15, so 10 points would have had it for me.
Yeah, double statue Dream was kind of rough for everybody.
Oh, everybody went Doma Castle? I was worried it might have been one fell behind.
Everybody found everybody except for Locke and Yeti were the only 2 characters that we didn't find, actually.
Didn't notice if Yeti had a character whenever I ran by there in Norsh, by the cave wall.
Yeah, and I feel bad for you, honey, because I know we see everything, so we know what happens. But Floating Continent 3 and Magitech Facility 3 each had your 8th character.
Yeah, I thought that might be possible, but I found them on like literally my first check. Like after I had 12 espers, like I went straight to Velvet Cave and the character was there. So
Yep, you did get
I-
saved on the back end, so
I think warping out of those two, worst case scenario, that cost me like a minute maybe. So I don't feel too torn up about that. Because the end of Magitech is long and the Floating Continent is long. Velvet Cave is like not even 2 minutes.
and as we see on screen, bear with us as Schwans is picking up some other runners that were running in the background for this seed set, Infinite Fluff and OS, both of which are in Kefka's Tower right now as JS is fighting the 4th level Kefka as he descends from the heavens. Nobody War kind of had it rough there for a while. Had to fight Poltergeist at least 5 times before finally getting by them. For their 11th and 12th Espers, they're fighting Imaru now in the tower. Now, one thing I want to ask you guys about doing the draft, and you knew you had Terra Magitech very early on in the draft, and a couple times in that draft, it did come up that to get all the Magitechs, would have gotten Tech Missile and X-Fur, nobody ever picked that. Does that hurt Terra in that situation, not getting all the Magitechs?
A little bit, but fortunately, I found that Esper with, like my first Esper had tier 3 magic on him, Bolt 3 and Flare. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, we're good to go.
Yeah, I didn't miss Techno so that much once I had Flare.
Yeah, it's like once I ran out of MP, I'll just switch over to M-Tech and use whatever beam it is that's the enemy's weakness, and just roll with that.
Random Yeti
Yeah,
Grand Train.
To be honest,
Yeti casting Grand Train?
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
rude.
Oh, we saw so many Grand Trains, Womps, and Wombats in this run. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
I
don't
feel like
ever
I
need
got
to.
lucky.
I don't ever need to go to Australia to see any of those marsupials. No, thank you.
Bro, I was getting run over at Dome of Dream. Little critters came out. It's not how you want to see a reset happen, but sounds like it happened to everybody.
Yeah, it was definitely the episode of the Tribbles from Star Trek.
I like how for the opening Imperial camp, I tried to make the offering wind guide thing happen. Then I'm like, wait, why am I doing this? I have Flash. Flash is the same thing in half the time, like 1/8 of the time. So that's why I did wind guide for like one fight, then I stopped doing it.
It is very
Yeah.
true.
I picked up a Flash early seed and was putting it to good use.
Oh, Flash carried. Flash carried.
Once mid game hit, I stopped using Flash and switched over to using drill, or I was dragooning and drilling. Was what I ended up doing.
JS finishing 147.45, 3rd place.
Nice.
Very nice.
GG's.
Yeah, so we'll start, I guess, with you, Honey, first. What did you think of the draft process, and does this, I guess, excite you for the upcoming tournament? Is it something that, makes it more interesting than running, for instance, the same Ultra Sleek flag set over and over again?
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. I'm looking forward to every match that I play, and I'm gonna watch so many matches. Matches in this format gonna feel like can't miss TV. Like I'll be sitting down and catch as many of those as I can. Even if it's not sync races, like just catching people's races throughout the week. Cause man, this is so different. I've never played open world seed before because I started playing whenever Ultra League 3 started, and so I only ever played character gating my entire time playing this.
Yeah, open world definitely changes the dynamic of the thing.
For sure.
I did do some open world checks, hoping to spike some stuff. I got offering out of that, and I did the Lone Wolf, which got me the Atma weapon, which was good because Edgar, once the tools started falling off, I didn't really have a job for Edgar. But then as soon as I did Lone Wolf and got that Atma weapon, I put that +100 Esper on him and started swinging.
JS Numbers finishing in 3rd place here, getting the record in Espers with 15 Espers on this run.
I don't wanna
GG's to
talk
you. How was
about
the run
it.
for you there, Jay?
Oh man, I thought I was gonna take a different play and no harsh.
Mike's still muted.
The magic. And also trying to go to lead as soon as I saw veterans and Diddlo, so I was out.
All
I
right,
was just
all
done.
right. Jax, how do you feel about the whole battle royale here coming up?
Oh, I am going to have loads of fun.
Well, this is what you do every week, though. You do the whole draft thing and everything, so this is right up your alley.
Well, I don't do drafts too often, but I do the
We have your
I use
Mad Lab.
Jones's chaos spot and do the mystery seeds, like true chaos mystery, where like every flag is on the table and just pure madness happens, and it's you either get lucky or the seed ends up being absolutely awful. So I'm used to that kind of craziness.
Most definitely, I'm looking forward to run the tournament. And the cool thing about the tournament, everybody, is that after we get through the first opening round, which is going to be the opening gala, and again, sign-ups start up tomorrow. So if you're interested in joining the Blackjack Battle Royale that we just demonstrated tonight here on Saturday night, Community Chaos Night, we do this every Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So join us here. It's open to the community. Anybody can run if you're interested, and it's kind of supporting your own stream to get your name out there. But yeah, the opening gala that's going to start up soon after that. It's just going to be a async race. It's going to be the base flag set, not all this craziness yet. But the crazy thing about the tournament, though, and that I'm finally getting into my question, is that the really cool thing is each individual group is going to have their own complete mix-up, craziness card draw. So everybody's group's going to be different from somebody else's. I think that's the most fascinating thing about this Battle Royale tournament.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's gonna be can't miss TV. Like you never know what you're tuning into.
There is one card in particular that I know is gonna mess with everybody's day, and I ran into it today. Drafting with Falcon Hit and Hefe.
Do you care to elaborate, or are you keeping that under wraps?
Well, I knew what I needed to do for it. No boss experience.
Oh yeah, that flag stinks.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So that obviously incentivizes checks with either forced encounters or places, emphasis on grinding instead of fighting bosses, right? So.
Okay, if I had that card, I would not warp out a floating continent.
Oh, and to make matters worse, random encounters had a 20% boss chance.
Oh god.
Oh, so even if you did get a random encounter, it might be a boss that gives you nothing?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it could be goddess. She gave you some good experience.
It was not with that flag, not with that card combination.
So, any other final thoughts for us here, Jex, before we continue on?
Absolutely.
All right.
Anybody who is new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide or curious about getting started with it, come join our Discord at ff6worldscollide.com. There's a link to the Discord. Also, there is a link here in our Twitch that I can clearly see. We have a great community. Lots of people willing to help you out and learn. I myself love doing lots of sync races just for fun and trying new stuff and all that craziness, including the Mad Doc Labs, where sometimes there are special experimental seeds and just a lot of neat stuff going on in the community. So come in, check it out, join the fun. And GG's, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so thank you, Jex, for allowing us to broadcast you as well. So can't have the races without the runners, so appreciate that. And we'll catch you next time.
Oh yes. Oh, and one more thing.
Right.
Give our Restream team and our racers a follow as well, and give them a little bit of love while you're at it.
Thanks, Jex.
All right, later, guys.
See ya.
picking up what Jex was saying, honey, you're kind of new to the community. I mean, you've been here for a couple of months now. How you feeling about the community here?
Oh yeah, started in the middle of February, and just want to give a huge shout out to like everybody in the Beginner's House channel. Like, literally any question I would ask, like 5 people would be jumping in to answer it like immediately, and people linking me like to spreadsheets and just giving me all this research. And there was like this no question I can ask that I would have somebody like jumping in to help me out. And big shout out to Mogulplex and Paro. I would watch both of the streams like literally every day and watch the VODs if I missed their streams. And watching the streams was the main way I learned how to play the game. So big shout outs to those two.
Awesome. Well, welcome, and thank you for volunteering to be part of the restream. Hopefully it was a good first experience for you, and second place on your first ever restream race is pretty good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I appreciate everything this community does, and I appreciate you guys too. See you next time.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.
And all right, so now we're on to JS. I think your mic was cutting in and out before, so let's see if it's better now. So,
is it working now?
Hey, there we go. So, how do you think your seed went overall? I know it was a little heavy on the Esper side.
Something like that.
I'm not hearing him.
I could hear him perfectly fine, Superwolf.
Oh, never mind.
Interesting.
So you can't hear me?
Now I can.
Ah, interesting.
No, we're good.
Because it was working fine before. That's weird. I just didn't find characters. Apparently, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, there was, Realm was at the end of the Floating Continent, Mog was at the end of Bowser's Mansion. I think Jexrock found Shadow at the end of the Magitech Factory, so some of the characters were buried pretty deep. Strago was in Zone Eater, right? So there was ways to find some of these characters, but they were at some of the yuckier checks. So when you see it's open world, what do you prioritize? Just the fast, quick checks, or checks that synergize with one another more?
I honestly, I don't run it much different than a regular race, except what I'll try to do is, I'll get my grinds out of the way. I'll do 1 or 2 of those grinds, whether it's Leet River, Opera House, Imperial Camp, something like that, just to kind of boost some experience, some levels real quick, and then I just kind of focus on my fastest checks, or if I have a check close by where I left, just like all of Saban's checks, they're pretty fast right there. With Phantom Train, the Falls, and also having Science check there as well. So, I mean, it's nice to just be able to run around real close to the map right there. So that's kind of what I do. Especially with open world, and especially since there was no free lunch on this. Go and grab some items that just kind of help you out in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. So, what did you think about the draft format overall, and are you excited and looking forward to some of the different combinations that we could find within the tournament here?
Sorry, correct PAL for OS 157-51. Go ahead.
I'm pretty good about it, because I always feel like on these draft seeds, I do a lot better than, everybody. After I play Ultras League over and over and over, and I feel like I get stale really quick. And it's almost like my gameplay kind of decreases rather than gets better. But whenever I'm constantly, doing something else and just adjusting all the time, I feel like I play better, and I have more fun with it too. Because I got hit with all kinds of stuff going on. I'm like, they don't normally do this. What is going on?
Oh yeah, the scaling random instead of scale element definitely throws you off.
Yes, that was quite interesting. Quite interesting. I was actually kind of worried about, the levels. What was it? The miracle card?
Yes. Party highest.
I was kind of worried about that, but it really didn't seem to make a whole lot of differences as far as I was concerned. But that was the card that I was most worried about, to be honest.
Yeah, the levels kind of give you like more ability to do things as your party-wise goes. But all the things you're going to be fighting is going to be still the same level you are, no matter what you do.
You could probably
So-
definitely feel
Exactly.
it the most at the Goddess Poltergeist back-to-back wombo combo in Cyan's Dream there.
Yeah, I was worried about that because I'm pretty sure I didn't save before going into Simon's Dream, and I was like, oh no, oh no. That's all I was thinking. I was like, dang it. And so that's one I was kind of worried about.
Also want to welcome in. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you got anything else for JS Sable before we let him go here?
No, other than that was a huge Ultima there from Nobody War, almost taking out the entire party there from Kefka.
Yeah, he's got this though. The Pearl Rod will do it.
Yeah, Pro should do it though.
There we
Yep,
go.
crack pow. 2 minutes, 21 seconds.
2 hours. 2 minutes would be
2 hours, 21
time.
seconds. I wish it was 2 minutes. Wow, my bad.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
that would be a sick time.
But I almost.
No kidding. And my apologies on the mic and started talking, and I thought you said
Yeah,
JN. Apparently you said
that would-
Jax.
that would be
Mine
sick.
was it was muted on my end. I don't know why, but
And my apologies on the mic and started talking, and we have those days, man. I thought you said JN. Apparently you
That's
said
it.
Jax.
mine was.
GG's But I appreciate you guys,
muted
you
on
know.
my end. I don't know why, but
Yeah, wasn't too bad. I mean, if I hadn't I missed the soldier skip. I've got a new controller, so I'm still kind of getting used to it. Trying to
GG's
click it. So I missed the soldier skip, then run into Magimaster, and I was just like, what a waste.
Did anyone else know about a Magimaster, or was it just me?
oh, everybody
yeah.
did.
Right out of
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I'm brand new to this. Like I started this week, and so like I don't know if what I'm doing is right or not. I'm still kind of like shooting from the hip.
And you still finished in 4th.
That's pretty
Thanks.
good, man.
Yeah. So again, JS, before we let you go, thank you for volunteering to be on Restream, and we can't have races without the runners, so appreciate that. So thank you again.
No problem. Thank you guys for doing all the restream work, man.
All right.
Appreciate it. Miss
We'll
you
see
numbers.
later.
Later.
All right, so OS was alluding to new to the community. How are you finding it so far with doing seeds and going through them, and then obviously graduating onto racing them?
So I've enjoyed this quite a bit. A friend of mine, fellow Twitch streamer Yogi the Monk, who's probably going to be entering some of these as well. He's feeling a little under the weather right now. Otherwise, he'd probably be here.
Oh, get well soon.
He has been kind of experimenting with randos, and I have been working on a Final Fantasy VI ROM hack for like almost 2 years now. And so it's one of my favorite games growing up, and I was like, I'm going to make a hard version for a couple of Twitch streamers I know.
Mhm.
And so I knew like how the code works. I knew how the enemy scripts work. I knew the locations of everything. I knew how the insides worked, but I had never done a speed run of the game. I had never done a rando. And he was like, let's do this. I did it once and I got hooked. And so I've been doing like 1 seed a day pretty much this entire week. It's been a lot of fun. I highly recommend, if someone's watching this, this is actually very easy to pick up. I thought it was going to be super complicated, but it wasn't.
By the way,
awesome.
Bufflex rocking the Rome with fixed dice. We didn't see that.
Very
The
cool.
run, so cool there.
Yeah, so interesting because this game as a randomizer, you do need to have a lot of vanilla game knowledge in order to know what weapons synergize with what, because a lot of the stats are and abilities are the same as they are in vanilla, but there is a lot of randomization to it, right? So having the deep vanilla game knowledge definitely helps when running the randomizer. Obviously, over time, as you play it more and more, then you'll start to acquire the quirks of the randomizer, or the rando knowledge, as I like to call it, right? So it's good to see that, we have more people coming and embracing, a great way to replay one of their favorite games,
New blood.
Yeah. Every time I race somebody or I play a seed that somebody else has played, I watch their video and I try to watch it next to my VOD. And it's like, what decisions did they make and why? And every once in a while I'll see something like, oh, they found like an Atma weapon or something early and they got lucky and they were able to capitalize it. But a good 80% of the time, they're making similar decisions, but just executing so much better. Like,
Yeah.
I really thought at the beginning. It's like, well, if you get a dead check, you're going to lose all this time. That's not true at all. Like the best players, they're executing properly and they're doing stuff that I would not expect to do. Like they get items that I wouldn't necessarily think of as great, and they're able to put it together in some way. And so I've been just stealing strategies from you guys, just lurking in your VODs. My typical strategy for high level seeds has been to get a fourth character as fast as possible, and then only go for like the magicite item checks. So that way I can level up, and then all of my later characters are going to be a higher average level. I thought that would be especially good for this, given that everything's going to be a much higher level than I'm used to. And I don't know if that was the right idea, because after like the third or fourth Magicite, I'm like, all right, let's get a character. And I kept getting Magicite, and I was stuck with Gao with double GP rain for half this run.
I mean, thankfully he did have some pretty good magic power, and some of the early espers had some good spells. But yeah, that's the risk that you run into with that particular strategy. Is it's sometimes harder to define what your end game builds are going to be and what your win condition is, right? So
yeah, I found a plus 50% HP Esper early, and then a plus 100% HP Esper, and like 3 Atma weapons and 2 offerings. So I was like, all right, I'm good. But I just like I didn't find any good spells for a long time. Wasn't until the very end I got Bolt 3 and Murton. Before then it was just Ice 2. That was it.
Yeah, going back to the Gao thing, I can't believe Gao came up in the draft 4 times and he ends up coming up as a draft anyways. And not only that, but coming with double GP rain is just astonishing.
That is amazing.
Who struck Gao? I want to know.
Gamble and Gao.
Apparently, Jax says blame him. So blame the guy who blame the guy that won. By the way, Nobody War in the chat. Now you can join in the conversation too. There, Nobody. How was the run for you, considering that you're basically last checking double statues to get your class 3 espers?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to like watch this back. I don't know if I like played the opening wrong, knowing it was open world. I think I might have forgot. Well, I didn't forget because I purposefully went and grinded tunnel armor spot, took that first, and then went right into oh gosh, Nourish. I back-to-back Nourish, which was my plan, and then I was doing Floating Continent, and then I figured if I had to do M-Tech for Espers or Dream for Espers, I would be there, hoping I would find characters along the way. My game plan was to try to not do any checks from my starting characters. And when it ended up being Gal, I was like, I'm going to dried meat hunt this at the very beginning. I found it quick, but then never ended up making it there. So, yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, I think part of the problem, knowing what we saw with the other runners, is that you found your 4th character much later than everybody else. So I think that slowed you down significantly, especially having to rely on, the Gamble and Gao, as it were.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, the kid sucks in general.
Put a good
he wasn't.
Put a tier 3 spell on him, and he's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was your... Well, I know Nobody War, you've done a bunch of different drafts, so we'll pivot this question to OS. What was your thoughts, feedback about the draft system as Infinite Fluff finishes 107.57, so GG's to him. So yeah, what was your opinion on the draft? Did you enjoy going through the draft and seeing what the cards would do and trying to figure out how they would affect the seed and things like that?
So I very much enjoy the draft. I come from the NES speedrunning community, and I'm actually part of the Best of NES staff, and we hold like the Big 20 and like Best of NES Marathon, a bunch of other events, and we're always looking for like neat events to host for people. And I saw this, and I was just instantly angry that I never thought of anything like this, because it's such a cool idea.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. Like there's all these modifications you can do, and like it plays to every type of player. Because when I was playing this, we were like me, Yogi the Monk, and Buffalax were doing some like friendly casual races, trying to figure stuff out, talking in voice chat, and we played with entirely different settings than what you guys typically did as standard. I personally always liked it when the bosses got much harder. I don't like high XP scaling or high gold or high magic power scaling, because when we played with like the standard settings, we just kind of flew through and nothing really was a challenge. Like you just get the items and you go.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the standard blackjack seeds, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. It's like a fairly easy seed. And like my PB before doing the blackjack seeds was like a low 2-hour seed. I did blackjack and instantly I'm down in like the 130s. But then I created a spreadsheet that randomly drew cards. So just like my own bot in the spreadsheet. And I started looking at what these would put together. I was like, I have no idea what I would do with this. Started to get really interested. This is my first time doing a full draft like this. And it was so much fun because I instantly started and didn't know what to do. And I kept forgetting things. Like I didn't get the cursed shield until I'd already done like 9 or 10 checks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I totally spaced on it too.
Yeah, I just
I
completely.
don't think
everybody did. So.
Yeah, I don't think very many people did because it was at what 11 or 12 or something like that.
It was 12. Yeah. It's funny though because I was rolling drafts earlier, and this situation came up, and it was like I had a terrible seed, and the pick number 12 was easy curse shields, and I'm like, it's not going to save it. That item isn't good enough, even though in that situation you go for it first every time. It doesn't save a seed like that. It might not have helped in this one, but you never know. It might have.
Yeah. I liked I found a peace ring and I put the cursed shield on Gao and the peace ring on Gao. And I was like,
oh, there you
sit
go.
in the corner.
Yeah.
You sit in the corner.
Something easy like that when you don't have to think hard about it.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a lot of other ways besides running, the racing standard that we have for our Ultros leagues. There are lots of different weekly async races to get involved with. One of them is called the Living Seed, and basically every week a runner decides that they can change 2 flags about the seed, right? And it evolves over time. It's very similar actually to the draft, but you actually get to pick what specific setting you want to change and what setting you want to change it to. However, you're also doing that with all of the other people racing. So, so sometimes somebody picks a really nasty setting, you can kind of offset it with something good, or vice versa if you want to be mean and evil and stuff. And then there's also, one of the other runners, Jex Varrock, is notorious for creating different random, weird, quirky flag sets, working with other mods as well. So he does, a asynchronous race in that sort of vein too. So
what was his name? Because I think we're gonna be friends.
Yeah, Jex Varrock. So he's he's in the chat. And then we also have there's another one that I've been enjoying recently called the Hit List, and basically it is you get a list of 8 different things that you have to do to unlock Kefka. 4 of them are checks and 4 of them are random bosses. You have to complete 4 random checks and defeat 4 random bosses. But the bosses are all in their vanilla locations. So you know exactly who you have to recruit to defeat certain bosses and complete certain checks. So it becomes sort of like a character hunt, if you will. Like, I need to get Cyan to defeat to do the Mount Zozo check. I need to get Sabin to defeat the Phantom Train, right? Like, that's the stuff it does. So I think there's lots of different ways to customize the game is basically what I'm saying. So
yeah, it really does change how it feels. Like I've played this game like as a kid, as an adult, vanilla, like ROM hacks, and now playing the randomizer. It feels different every time I play it. Like as long as I'm changing the seed, like doing a blackjack draft, it feels different every time.
Yeah.
Oh, it will definitely feel different every time, as you can tell from this.
I had never played with Magitech before, and so I'm like, is Bolt 3 or Bolt Beam stronger? I don't know.
3.
I should look this up.
So the beams are equivalent to tier 2 elemental versions. Their battle power is exactly the same.
But they're only single target.
They're only single target, right? Yeah. So that's the drawback. Is they're only
but
single target.
Magitech Missile is equal to, I believe, Flare, but it's physical.
It's no, it's not. It's magic damage.
It's magic damage.
Right. It's equivalent to Flare, which ignores magic defense, and it inflicts the sap or seizure status.
Oh, that's right. It adds an extra condition, which is the seizure, quote unquote, condition. Which I hate that. I hate that word. But it's
that's why I say. That's why I say.
Yeah.
I don't like that word either. But so So yeah, so that's sort of why the upgrade for Magitech is sort of gated behind an additional objective, because without it, you would just be spamming that one spell the entire game, because you could take out anything with it, right? So it became a little bit too much of an easy mode, you know. So
Right.
any other final thoughts, OS, before we let you go out of here?
Anything I did wrong that anybody saw, like if you look at this VOD or my VOD or anything and you're like, hey, he made a really big mistake, let me know, because I don't know. I have to study these things. Like I've got a spreadsheet where I timed all the individual checks so I could figure out why people were doing certain checks over
very
others.
Nice. Well, you could share that with us, because we can definitely learn that. But this video will be on our YouTube channel, or if you're on the YouTube channel watching this, hi from the past. So this way you could compare what 4 other runners did to see exactly what you did differently, right? So that's also really
You can run this side by side with your own VODs, so you can figure it out.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna post right now in the race channel, so it's gonna disappear soon. So take a look.
Okay.
Oh,
well, save it
well,
somewhere.
still going.
Save it somewhere, and we'll throw it in a wiki. But yeah, thank you for racing, and we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll definitely catch you on the next one.
I'll do more. Thanks.
All right. So Nobody War loves the draft, does it all the time. How did you feel about these specific flags?
It wasn't too bad. Hold on. You got a screenshot of that? I mean, nothing really bothered me, I don't think. Like,
yeah, so hold on.
Where
There's
was it?
Exclamation picks.
It was the mixed dragons and like.
Yeah,
There's
so
really nothing bad here.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
no Illuminas,
really
no
nothing
experience
bad. No
eggs,
free
no
lunch.
Super Balls, no free lunch.
Yeah, it was
no
just trying to
elemental
route
shields,
in.
no rods.
Yeah, it was just trying to route where to go in open world to find characters as soon as possible. I had like an open world game plan that I usually stick to.
Mm-hmm.
It just played out slow.
Yeah.
That was hilarious because once was like, so what do you do in open world when you do picks? Like, oh, I do all the triple checks and everything. And then y'all run into like double statue bosses and all this other stuff. We're like, never mind. Everything I just said, just throw it out the window.
Yeah.
for open
Yeah,
world.
Poltergeist gave me a little bit of issue only because like I never heal, and I'm like, oh yeah, damn, use the tent,
dude.
like
Grand Train into Quasar into Wombat, bro.
Who got that? Not me.
That was honey.
Yeah, ouch. Jeez. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it
But
really
nobody had
shows.
lore.
It shows like, especially with 2.1 or 1.2, whatever we're at now. Narsh is just super overpowered in open world. If you can just like back to back Narsh like that, it's 6 checks, and you can just get a ton of progress out of there.
Yeah, especially
And
with the
it
new
just-
Moogle defense check too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, everybody noped out of K and N, I'm assuming, because it was Magimaster.
Oh, yeah.
So no one did. Anybody take the Moogle defense check?
Yes, it was.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, who I can't remember who it was. I believe it was JS Numbers. Because it was Mog that came on the screen, he didn't have Mog. And he was trying to get a character. He thought it was
Oh.
Mog.
Right, and it wasn't. Yeah.
And it wasn't. So that kind of threw him off a little bit.
That's funny.
Yeah, just the unfortunate nature of we normally play character gated, and it's never a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where it went slow for me.
Ouch.
Probably it's late. It's probably my mid game as always. I stopped tracking splits around like the 35-minute mark, and a little bit too much time in the menus and
Well,
running
I
into
think what
stuff.
also might have I don't know though, because like I know that you usually take grind fights before you do anything, and in a seed where the scaling is based off of your party highest, that may not necessarily be a good thing, because it'll just mean the bosses will just take longer and longer and longer until you hit the cap, right? But a lot of other runners chose either Serpent Trench or what was the other one? Imperial Camp.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, those early grind fights in cases, and in most cases, are when you find shields or a good Esper where you can learn a magic spell quick. And that's all I did. I wanted to learn Ice 2 and go take a boss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you have magic check right away and you have tools and start with a drill, that's pretty
Oh,
a pretty powerful
yeah.
setup.
Right,
It's
exactly.
just unfortunate you have a Gao doing absolutely nothing.
I don't know. That's going way back 2 hours ago now, but 5 minutes in, I accidentally sold the drill and I was about to
Oh
reset.
God. Yeah, I would have done that.
It was like one of the first
Oh.
things, but I'm like, all right, I can make it through this without that drill. I found the flash with Edgar and I just swapped back and forth with that MP Esper and had earrings on him, and he just flashed every now and then when I needed him to. Between M-Tech and whatever else was going on.
Yeah, everybody likes Edgar streaking, with the flashing of everybody.
Oh yeah, and then when I did do Narsh and found like the horn was going to be there as a second reward, I could have swore I ran into Boots somewhere in a relic shop.
Yep.
And I'm like, I went World of Ruin first and did Albrook and then did the other town, and then did Jador, and I'm like, it had to be in one of those, but it didn't seem right. It was in South Figaro, right? Because I did
Yeah.
South Figaro last.
South Figaro, World of Balance, Nakia, World of Ruin, I believe.
Yeah. I knew they were somewhere, and I just didn't want to waste time looking for them. I knew that would be something for Edgar to do or for somebody else to do come late game.
That was an
I just
easy
didn't
transition
have time
from
for
drill
it.
to Orlands.
I mean, and I was lazy, and I'm just like, M-Tech. She learned quick, M-Tech. This game's over.
Yeah.
And going back to what one of the other runners said that about like what items you get in shops that are good that other people scoff at. One of the biggest items shown at every single shop was enhancer.
Yeah, enhancers are good.
Which enhancer's really good with the magic power.
Genji glove some enhancers. There you go.
Ugh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Dear God, no.
Yes.
It's like 2 Magus rods.
Blech.
By the way, speaking of Genji glove, Buffalax is running Realm with double fixed dice.
Nice. I was
As
wondering,
their
there had to
carry.
be some dice around here somewhere in this game.
Yeah. Well, we had access to open world plus no free progression means you can go to Gao Manor, Figaro Throne, Narsh Weapon Shop, Cave to the Sealed Gate. All of those things are all going to be free progression.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna collapsing.
I did Zone Eater.
Yeah. Well, you were the only one that picked up Strago, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we found everybody but Locke and Umaro, which was kind of cool.
Anybody do Phoenix Cave?
No.
I was gonna. Okay. Dang, I was gonna do that.
No Phoenix Cave. No.
Yeah, I
no
definitely
Owzers.
No Burning House.
Owzers'
No
Daryl's
Tomb.
No, we did do Daryl's Tomb. A couple people did Daryl's Tomb.
Okay.
Daryl's
Golem,
Tomb.
yeah.
Train. Anybody do Phantom Train?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well, yes. I'm sorry.
That was
man.
Setzer.
Yep.
Nice, man. See, that's what I was gonna do early too. Like
Oh no,
Sabin.
I'm sorry. Setzer was at the engine room.
Sabin has so many like quick early checks that you can do in open world.
Oh, yeah, Setzer
It
was
one of those
a good
things.
one,
I
yeah.
kind of just got distracted doing other stuff and never
Yeah.
got to it until I finally came back and did Doma, did camp, jumped off the mountain and
Hurled
there it
yourself
was.
off.
yeah.
No, yeah, it was very interesting. I will download the seed to run it at a later date. And the thing with party highest scaling is it doesn't matter if you get Espers or other characters and don't fight, right? So doing things like Zone Eater and Phoenix Cave and Mount Zozo and checks that technically don't have fights but give you rewards don't hurt you the same way it does in progression
totally not at
scaling,
all. Yeah,
right?
even dragons, and that's what I thought of too. Like I don't know if anybody noticed. Like I reread like the flags real quick, and I would like put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, dragons are scaled to my level. I'm taking this early dragon on Narsh Mountain. He's only going to be level like 6 or 7.
Yep.
I'm going to destroy it.
Oh
Zozo
man.
got puncher sized in the face.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so the dragons, they could have been a boss, right? But you do get another high,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing. You get the high tier items, right? So there's high
Yeah,
tier items
yeah.
all over the place.
Well, it would have worked out even if it was a boss too, at those low levels, in certain situations. Especially up at Nars too, there's a save point there. You can just reset out of that quick. You can go try a Titrock spot. Then you can just get out of there if it's nonsense.
Yeah, we did one person try to do Elite River. I believe it was numbers and
JS, I knew
first,
he would have.
first fight was
Veteran Diadalos.
veteran,
no
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, the catch to
Nope.
Siegfried
You know what the thing? Oh, the Siegfried fight.
The
on the way out of
Siegfried
Floating
and,
Continent.
Floating
That was-
Continent,
So
yeah.
if you start to hold LNR to run away from
I
Siegfried,
know.
okay,
Yeah.
you know you
It was
just,
just-
you
He
just
tried.
He always
you were too
gets you
busy
so
face
quick.
palmed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Mount Zozo is not considered a free check, right? So it can be an Esper character, and I think it's because
Yeah.
literally you have to pay 1,000 GP for.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just like the Tizen tree guy.
Yeah, auction house is because everybody hates the auction, so that was a compromise to get rid of the auction house while also knocking some other stuff out.
Well, Zelfer wasn't here, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I don't mind to Zen Thief and Auction House because at least you're not fighting a battle, but you're giving up money. Versus like Gao Manor, you literally just walk up and say high five the person.
Well, we didn't have a problem with money in this run because we had chests with 14,000, we had another chest with 20,000. We found 3 cat hoods.
Marvel shoes and
point.
Colin,
With Marvel
shoes and Colin Jinin, you could just flip and sell right away, right? So,
Yeah, so there was plenty of money in this run.
Yeah, I stopped looting
For
after
Gao to throw
the
at
second
people,
South
but
Figaro, basically. No.
all right,
yeah,
so I think
can
we
imagine.
blabbed on enough. So any other final
Yeah, I'm
thoughts?
gonna get out of here, guys.
All right, so thank
This
you
was
so
great.
much. Thank you
I
so
love
much
this.
for joining the race and
You
for
got it.
allowing yourself to be featured broadcaster. We appreciate that. So thank you, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Take care, y'all.
I'll flex my way.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do is we are just gonna raid Buffalax so that this way
Yes, we
everybody
are.
can watch him, since he is currently the person that is finishing up at the moment. So I want to thank my esteemed co-commentator Saber Wolf. Thank you for hopping in the booth and doing this with me. This was
Not a
definitely a
problem.
lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yep, definitely. And remind everybody once again to sign up for the Worlds Collide Blackjack Battle Royale. That starts today now. It's after midnight on the East Coast, so that starts today, Sunday, March 26th, throughout the whole week. Make sure you sign up at the end of the week to get into the opening gala, which is going to be the play-in free-for-all async race. So whenever you get a chance to play that following week, you can just jump in and play that 1 seed, and we'll match everybody up to get into the tournament. If you're not one of the groups of 5 that get in there, don't panic. There is a Logomorph Lounge. It's kind of like a last chance qualifier to try to get in.
Yeah, so that'll do it for me, the Schwantz 27. Thanks again to the runners, and we'll send you over. And until next time, thanks for stopping by. Catch you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Later. Bye-bye.